Hi, friends. Welcome into the firm of Harris and Marang. Patrick Harris, yours truly with you. That's Danny Marang. To my left, Brandon Henson on the ones and twos today, laying down the fat beats.
Is this the Seal remix from Space Jam?
This is Seal from Space Jam.
Yeah.
I don't know who made this. I assume Lowercase did.
I'm down.
It's kind of a banger.
I'm in. Wasn't this playing when like Jordan took off one time? Took off from like the free throw line?
You know, I actually haven't seen that movie in a very long time.
The OG, it's been a long time. Or is this at the end of the movie that it played?
Maybe like the end credits?
Yeah, it might be an end credits one.
I believe there was a montage in the middle of the movie, too.
That included this, right? Yeah.
I got really into Steve Miller Band the other night with the wife, and I was like, you got to hear all these banger songs he did, including that one.
There's probably like 10 CDs from my youth that did not leave the disc changer. Steve Miller's Greatest Hits is 100% on that. Yeah. That might be one of the best Greatest Hits albums that exists.
Do you know the Eagles? They have a Greatest Hits album that came out before they made Hotel California.
Oh.
And I believe it's something like the most pressed record of all time. Like,
really?
There are more copies of that record out in the wild than anything else.
To be honest, I would have figured it would have been like Creed.
No, it's the Eagles. Pre-Hotel California.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to guess that one.
I don't think I ever saw the second Space Jam, the LeBron one. Was it any good?
It's fine.
It's fine. We went and saw.
It gets killed. It shouldn't get killed. It's fine.
We went out. I went out with my kids and we saw Goat. Oh no, we watched it at home. We watched Goat, the Steph Curry produced. It's got the kid from Stranger Things.
Oh,
it's
right,
animated.
Right, yeah.
Terrible.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely terrible.
Ooh.
I know. Like, it doesn't take much to have a kids movie be good.
No, it's actually, like, if anything, it feels like those are the things that hit every time now.
Right. I don't even need adult jokes. You know, I'm a kid inside, so I'll just watch kid movies. I don't care. Goat was bad. Goat was real bad.
Oof.
Well, he's like, it's clearly a wannabe kind of like Steph Curry story, I think. You know, he's too small. Nobody believes in him. Wants to play for the big team. And then he becomes the GOAT, I guess. Yeah, I don't know.
Did he become an actual goat?
He is an actual goat.
Oh, okay.
Because they're all animals.
Gotcha.
And he's like, they've broken animals down into like size categories, and he is of the smaller animals, and no smaller animal has ever played in the basketball league.
Oh, okay. So this is Steph Curry Davidson.
But he shoots threes. He can't dunk or anything like that, but he shoots threes lights out.
Oof, that's tough.
It's not a good movie. I think I even did it better justice by just terribly explaining it to you.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you just saved us.
I just saved you. Yeah.
Okay. I appreciate that.
The best player on the team is a giant Black Panther who like stands and chiseled and.
Interesting.
Yeah. They're like the best player on the team, but they're super selfish. They're not a team player because it's about them.
Gotcha.
But they've never won a chip until they become a team player. Because of the GOAT. Because the baby GOAT.
I wonder who that's trying to highlight.
Kevin Durant, maybe?
No, he's got those.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
Got a couple of them things.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
I see goats on my walk every night.
Do you really?
Yeah, out in Wilsonville, this guy has a farm.
Guy's got a bunch of goats?
Yeah. There's one really cool looking one. He has a tan head that cuts off at the neck with the tan, and then it turns into the white with the brown speckles. Like, he's kind of cool looking. He'd make a cool coat.
My mother-in-law has told me when her husband goes, she's going to buy chickens for her yard.
Yeah.
And my wife is terrified about that because she does not want to be around chickens.
But they're not at your place.
I know. Well, the theory is it may be my place someday.
Oh. Gotcha.
Yeah, the old mother-in-law sitch. Although she's wonderful.
Chickens
I would open.
Chickens aren't bad, man. Like my sister has them, and I get fresh eggs.
Can you eat them after a while?
I mean, depends on what you want to do, but
like if you have chickens for a while that lay eggs and you hang around with chickens, like do you get to a point where you eat it, or is that like messed up? Are you eating your pet?
I mean, you're kind of eating your pet at that point in time. I just steal their eggs.
Are they pets or are they just like livestock?
Well, it depends on how you treat them. You can't name them. Can't name food. Can't name food. That doesn't work out well. Not a thing you do.
Can't name food.
Yeah, that's why you can't. You get yourself a cow, you can't name it. You can't name your food, man.
Can't.
It's not
Because
good.
old Bessie over here, I don't want to be.
Yeah, Bessie's the milk cow.
Yeah, Bessie's the milk cow.
Yeah, you can't. Once you start naming food, it gets real hard.
But this steak off of number 35 is
Ding,
totally
ding, ding,
fine.
ding, ding,
yeah,
ding.
Yeah.
It's got to be a number you don't like too.
It's your lucky number.
Yeah, no, you can't do that.
35 is a lot tastier than 34. Probably because 34 makes me cry every time. Mm-hmm. 34 is my lucky number.
Yeah, that can't be anything you like.
What is your lucky number, Danny?
5.
Why?
It's been my number and everything.
Just been your number? Mm-hmm. I am 34.
I was that guy. I was that guy growing up that had the number on the chain.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah.
How big was the number?
Inch and a half, something like that.
If you had all the money in the world, how big would it be right now? Like 8 in size?
Oh yeah.
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 Flava Flav size?
No. I like the one that's probably like 2.5, 3 inches. That one.
Yeah.
Every time I see one of those, like the NFL guys do that. The NBA guys, they do their initials.
Oh,
NFL
okay.
guys tend to do the number.
They do initials in basketball.
Have you seen DC's chain?
No, I haven't.
Oh, it's straight out of Rough Riders Anthem.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Donovan Clingan?
Donovan's got seasoning.
Okay.
Brandon, you've seen DC walk in.
Yep.
Seasoning?
Yep.
Yeah.
Chet Holmgren style?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's invited to the party.
Yes.
Okay.
100%.
Okay. All right.
DC listens to the grungiest, nastiest rap you've ever heard in your entire life.
Well, like what? Like Andre Nicotina?
That vein, but like he's entrenched in it.
Okay. All right.
You
DC.
You can tell when without knowing when they do pregame warm up music if DC picked it or not. It's
That's a fact.
It's so easy. Like as soon as you hear it, like DC picked that.
Like Brother Lynch, like real nasty stuff like that?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah. 100%.
Brother Lynch is not for the children.
No. You can always tell when Scoot picks it too because it's always like 70s jams.
Like soul or rock or what?
Soul.
Soul. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Scoot's got a pretty good taste. Yeah, Brandon's nodding along.
I like Scoot style a lot. Very old school.
Scoot wears a velour tracksuit, of course, man. You wear a velour tracksuit, and you probably like music that I like.
Yeah. No, it's funny, but yeah, DC's got a DC chain that the script looks like it's out of Rough Riders. It's hilarious. I love it because when he walks in, like he'll wear like the baggy tracksuit with that on, with like a black tracksuit kind of jacket, so the diamonds just pop.
Where's DC live?
I mean, here in Connecticut.
Well, I know, but like, is he a Lake O dude or is he a downtown guy?
I think DC's a Westland guy.
Westland, okay.
I can't remember now.
If I was rich and an NBA player in this town, where would I live? Probably North Portland. I love it there.
Odin had 2 spots. He had a spot downtown and then a spot in Lake O.
Brian Grant lived in Camas for a long time, didn't he?
Yeah. There's a lot of guys live, obviously Westland, Tualatin, Stafford area.
Because you want to be close to the practice facility?
And the houses out there are designed, they're like, what ends up happening is guys who play here, they take over the same houses when they leave because they're built bigger. For
bigger dudes?
Like Myers and Hassan switched houses.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, when they got traded, because it's set up for a guy who's 7 foot 250.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think they'd like my house very much.
No, probably not. No, the old architecture, and then obviously Evan had the house at over 26 forever.
Does he still have that house?
He finally sold it. I think
finally sold
last year. Yeah, but no, it was there's a group of houses, and then you can be like Dame and custom build your house.
Well, if you got that kind of money, why not?
Well, he ain't going nowhere either.
Yeah, he does like it here.
Oh yeah, he's staying here. This is home for him now.
I wonder why he felt so entrenched about this place.
He just
was like, I got drafted there, and that's where I'm going to be home.
It just fit for him.
Okay,
because most of his family up here. So,
well, the town loves him. So,
yeah. I mean, if he ever wants to run for mayor or governor, he'd win. he would.
So, Damian, what do you think about the homeless crisis? It's like, well, I'm Damian Lillard. You're like, that's your platform. Is that I'm Damian Lillard? You're like, okay,
it works.
Here's my vote.
Q rating through the roof. We did the totally random. We did the air show this weekend.
Oh yeah,
dude. It was so I went full just dirt. I was calling out every single aircraft to my fiance. That's fun to say. They had the F-35, the Marine version. Because they they'll take off on aircraft carriers and shorter runways. They've got it's not quite a VTOL, which is a vertical takeoff and landing, but the thruster, like if you're talking about the thing that the afterburner comes out of the jet.
Sure.
Normally it's static. It just straight back and forth. The one that they have actually vectors down, and they can put it in a hover at 40 yards above you. And so this guy's sitting there hovering, just spinning it in a circle. And it was funny. She was like, "That's really loud." I'm like, yeah, it's
what?
Yeah, it's generating 40,000 pounds of thrust, so it's got to be quite loud. But he went by, just doing a couple passes. They're not allowed to break the sound barrier.
Why not? Is it against the law?
Yeah.
Why is that against the law?
Have you ever heard what it sounds like when the sound barrier gets broken off the top of you?
Nope.
You go deaf.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's not fun.
Oh.
But
well, now I kind of want to know.
In combat scenarios, combat scrambles, they are allowed to. Like when the dude hijacked the plane and rolled it over in Washington, they scrambled the F-15s out of here, and they did combat takeoffs at PDX at Pang, and they did do full sound barrier breaks.
Oh, crazy.
Yeah, you're not supposed to do it unless it's kind of a national emergency or emergency situation.
When I saw those two planes crash in Idaho, I totally thought it was here. I didn't realize that it was like air show weekend across America.
I thought so too. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't realize it was like.
What was it? Blue? Was it the Blue Angels?
No.
Okay, because I saw it was Navy F-18s, and I saw blue and yellow parachutes.
No, I don't think it was. But I just assumed that there was only one air show happening in the entire United States.
Yeah. No,
you can't have two at once.
Yeah, no, that was crazy to see happen. She had actually an interesting question that because I just didn't think about it. She was like, "Do they automatically eject? Like when they kind of like an airbag situation?" I'm like, "No, they've got two,
you pull.
No, you've got two handles above you on the F-18s. You've got two giant cords that are above you, and I don't think most people know this. Those ejection seats, they don't just like poof and you just kind of come out of there. There's a little rocket.
Yeah, it shoots you out.
Yeah.
Look, I've seen Top Gun a lot. All right, I'm fully aware.
It's yeah, that's not a fun situation because you got to remember you're going forward and now you're going upwards, and when you hit that wind, that's
that doesn't feel not fun.
That's a lot of G's, but thankfully all four pilots ejected and got out clear.
Oakley Dokley, we got a great show for you today. A lot of NBA to get to today. In fact, we might talk all NBA today. Conference finals are set. We'll preview those in the big nooner. How awful are Knicks fans going to be if they make the finals? We'll get into that. And then some Blazers stuff to get to as well. Tom Dundon was on a podcast over the weekend. Terry Stotts wants to coach in Portland. So we got Blazers in the hour number deuce. But let's finish up the second round of the NBA as the Spurs cruise to a win over Minnesota, even with 8 minutes left in the game. That's next. 105.1 The Fan. 1019, Portland Sports Leader. Don't you forget it. We are live from the shadows of the historic Fremont Bridge. 503-864-6326 is the fan text line. The YouTubes as well. 1051 The Fan is your channel. Come hang out with us. Be nice to each other. Interact. Have a grand old time. We'll get you caught up on how we got here in the conference finals, and then we'll take a preview of said conference finals. We'll get to that in the big nooner. But let's clean this up from over the weekend. Look, Danny, I'm not going to lie to you, man. I've been very, very disappointed in the second round of the playoffs. And this weekend put a cherry on top of that. Just last night's game was garbage. We'll get to that in a little bit. And the Spurs beat the Minnesota Timberwolves 139-109. And I know you see a 30-point lead, but they could have won this game by 50. It was over.
It was over at the first.
Yeah. End of the first quarter was 36-27, and I was like, this is cooked. This is absolute cooked. Nothing's going to happen here. Julius Randle had 3 points in the entire game. I
knew Ant was going to go out without a fight, but
Rudy Gobert had 0.
That Spurs team, that's what's terrifying about that team. That wasn't the T-Wolves being bad. That's the Spurs machine.
Hi, Steph Castle. Welcome to the party.
Steph was a monster. Wemby just absolutely locked down the paint. Fox was just doing what he needed to do, hyper efficient. Champagne's, the Spurs shot was at 56, 47, 85.
Yep, exactly that.
They just went nuts. And defensively, they were flying. They were flying everywhere. 13 blocks. There was nothing available in the rim. Julius Randle could do nothing. Gobert had no room to work. It was just masterclass from the Spurs defensively.
And the bench showed up again. And it's not always the same guys, but Carter Bryant was fantastic for them, I thought. Dylan Harper, once again.
15 and 5 from Dylan Harper.
The greatest bench player in the history of the NBA, for my money, is Dylan Harper. And Luke Cornett doing Luke Cornett things. Like this, you've said it, Danny. We've seen the Spurs play really well in the postseason so far, okay? But we've never quite seen them fully unlocked, to quote you. That is pretty damn close, I think. And it lines you up for what should be a hell of a time against Oklahoma City. The thing with Minnesota, you know me, I've been kind of like secretly rooting for them.
Yeah.
I like Ant a lot. I don't know where they go from here because I feel like, sure, two conference finals appearances in a row. You lose this year to a Spurs team who's very good. I don't know how much better this team can get in its current incarnation.
No, they need more punch. They need more creation. Adding AO is a good addition, but they need more punch. And look, even if they had Dante DiVincenzo, it's not enough.
Maybe 10 off the bench for you.
He's more than that, but he's just not. He's not that guy. And they just need one more guy. You're hoping Julius can be that guy, but they just don't have the punch necessary in the front court consistently. And again, I was talking to a couple players this weekend, and we talked about this series, and not just this series, but Wemby. And every single one of them said some version of, man, the playoffs is just about matchups and what you can do with that guy. And we started talking about the Blazers and Donovan, what he needs to be. And because what Wemby can do to Gobert, what Wemby can do to Donovan, what he can do to guys who are not multi-dimensional offensive threats, and how he can just sit in the paint and how big and long he is. One guy I was talking to just said, he's got to be Brook Lopez. If you're playing that team, he has got to bomb threes. He's got to, the Spurs, when they played the Blazers, they said, you can hit 2 or 3. We don't care. You've got to hit 4 or 5, and you've got to be a volume threat out there so that Wemby has to step above the free throw line.
And it can't just be in the first quarter.
No.
Whenever we see Donovan Clingan, for example, take 3-point shots, it's usually early in the game because teams are letting him. And then he kind of...
And then his confidence gets hit after he misses a few, and then
he goes back to the paint.
And where can he not get busy with that dude on the floor?
Not there.
And to be fair, this is not a shot at Donovan. This is just the puzzle piece or the puzzle that you get put into by Victor Wembanyama. And that's the thing that the Spurs, or the Thunder, their ability to go small and we're going to play Chet at the 5. It's yeah, but we have better Chet. their whole idea of like, we're going to go small. I'm like, oh, you want to go small and you want to put Dylan Harper, De'Aaron Fox, and Steph Castle on the floor with Wemby?
They can counter that.
Have fun.
Yeah, and Wemby's athletic enough to kind of keep up with that. Yeah, the Minnesota thing is weird. It feels, you said it best, the punch. I don't know what they do with Naz Reid. I don't know what the future is for Naz Reid there.
Naz is a really good player, incredible six man. He's kind of he's not Ginobili, but he's a six man who plays starter minutes. Mm-hmm. But they need more creation. That's the thing that they need. Like I firmly believe the most valuable asset in the NBA is creation with size. Look at the best players in the league. Mm-hmm. SGA, Luka, Giannis, Jokic.
They're all over 6'4".
They're all bigger dudes. Like people are like, well, SGA's not that big. I'm like, SGA's a 6'6" guard. Mm. Like that's a problem to deal with.
Yeah, like for example, that's why I'm not a big Jalen Brunson guy.
Yeah.
He's too small and he only plays for himself.
Well,
I shouldn't say that. It's not like a selfish thing, but he doesn't create as much as I would like him to.
He's a self-creator more than he is a team creator. Yes. And I think, to be fair, SGA is more in that vein. He is a self-creator. He just has other guys that are like, J-Dub is a jumbo wing creator. Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, they're jumbo creators. Like having multiple guys that can give you rim pressure and create on their own, like that's what the Blazers are attempting to do. Like that's what they, like having Dame, having Drew, having Denny, they want to go get another guy. They want to go get a Giannis. They want to go get an Anthony Davis. They want to go get guys that have size that can create mismatches, create opportunities that you can't just shy away from. And so it's like you look at what teams are trying to do right now. Everybody talks about, it's the analytics of it all. It's like, no, in the playoffs, man, it's about dudes and making shots. That's what it's about. Now, you have to be able to spread the floor because teams will, if you ever want to know what a team thinks about you, play a good team in the playoffs. How they cover you, how they treat you, how much respect or no respect they give you, they're going to look at Donovan Clay. And again, this is not a shot at DC. They're going to look at DC, they're going to look at Shaden, they're going to look at Scoot and go, what do you got? Scoot hits some shots in a couple games. Guess what? The next time they go, we're just going to under you. We're just going to make sure you can't get to where you want to get to.
Back to the Jalen Brunson. It's what C.J. McCollum did to him early in that Hawks series. He was like, I'm going to find you. Yeah, no, and I'm going to score on you.
Look, in that matchup, they're going to try to hide Jalen so he doesn't have to guard Harden, doesn't have to guard Mitchell. Guess what Donovan Mitchell and Jim Harden are going to do? They're going to screen and screen and screen
to force him to pick them up.
They're going to say, bring me Jalen Brunson over and over. Now, they've got Mikal Bridges. They've got OG Anunoby. They've got Josh Hart. But they're also going to say, hey, we've got Evan Mobley. We're going to make Cat come up here, and then we're going to put him in a pick and roll with Brunson.
Jared Allen playing feisty too right now. Last note on this Minnesota Timberwolves team, and we'll talk about San Antonio taking on the Thunder in the Big Nooner. Do we have an issue with Anthony Edwards dapping up the Spurs with 8 minutes to go in the game? Do we have an issue with that?
I don't. It was cooked.
I don't either. Team-wise, there might be an issue, but as a fan and kind of everyone probably in the arena thought, the game was kind of already at hand.
Yeah. I mean, the Spurs went and flagged it. I mean, look at the minutes played. It's just.
Oh yeah.
Did a start? Oh, sorry. Steph did crack 30. Castle did crack 30. Otherwise, 26, 27, 24, 27.
Kyle Anderson, Julian Phillips, Joan Behringer.
Yep.
Jalen Clark and Bones all had 8 minutes. I wonder what those 8 minutes were.
That's it right there.
Go out there and know you're not coming back.
Enjoy the rest of the season, boys.
I don't know where I sit. I think there's just a part of NBA culture that I don't quite understand. Because we were texting about this. Like, I get really, really frustrated in these games. Like, it is an elimination game and you just lost by 30. I get very, very frustrated with that as a fan. And I was texting you about it, and you were kind of explaining it to me. And while your explanation made sense, I refused to accept it because my brain cannot compute that this is game 6 of a series. You've clearly had some pluses and some minuses, and then it's the game that will send you home if you lose, and you lose by 30. I will never understand that.
Sometimes teams are just better, man. And that's like this Spurs team is a buzzsaw.
Let's slide over to the Eastern Conference as we saw a Game 7 last night that, left me wanting more once again. There's Brandon with sports.
Now, from the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
This update brought to you by Reynolds Defense Firm. If you've been arrested for DUI, you need a team of attorneys that you can put your trust into. Call Reynolds Defense Firm today, online at reynoldsdefensefirm.com. First on the Fan, the NBA Conference Finals get underway tonight in the Western Conference. Newly minted back-to-back MVPs Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and the Thunder hosting Wemby and the Spurs. Tip-off just after 5:30 on NBC. Thunder are a 6.5-point favorite. The Eastern Conference Finals start tomorrow as the Cavaliers blew out the Pistons in Game 7 of the semis last night, 125-94. Donovan Mitchell, 26 points, 8 assists, 6 rebounds. Cleveland heads to New York to battle the Knicks. Other NBA news today, the Pelicans are reportedly hiring former Magic head coach Jamal Mosley on a 5-year contract. Mosley led Orlando to 3 straight playoff berths in his 5 years there. We got a Game 7 tonight in hockey in the Stanley Cup playoffs. The Canadiens and the Sabres play for the right to face Carolina in the Eastern Conference Finals, 4:30 start on ESPN. And your Portland Fire wrap up their first homestand of the season tonight, taking on the winless Connecticut Sun in the Moda Center. Tip-off just after 7. Coverage starts at 6:45 on 910 ESPN Portland. Fire are a 3.5-point favorite. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. I'm Brandon Henson from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt and missing work? Insurance companies acting like jerks? Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
The home of the firm of Harris and Marang. Weekdays.
We'll laugh together. Prime Video crew making fun of Shams Charania next as SGA is announced as the MVP. Get to that in 15 minutes. We'll talk Blazers in the 11 o'clock hour, so hang tight on that. There's a lot of new fun news and developments for your local NBA franchise. Switching over to the Eastern Conference, look, Friday was another kind of dud of a game as the Pistons really put the clamp down on Cleveland. And I'll tell you what, Danny, after I watched that game, I thought to myself, Cleveland has no chance in Game 7 because I thought the Pistons had, respect my authority kind of to it, that grittiness, that punch you in the mouth. Look, Cleveland's a good team. I think they're just built a little bit on finesse sometimes. And
they don't play with the necessary force.
Yeah, exactly. But the Pistons really, really do. And boy, was I absolutely wrong. I sat down with a buddy to watch that game last night, and after in the middle of the second quarter, I'm just looking at the TV going, how can I can't watch this. I can't watch this. This is, first of all, I don't have enough juice in this series to begin with, and this is atrocious basketball to watch. Detroit was so bad that it made me forget how bad Jim Harden was.
I mean, Jim Harden has got to buy all of the Cavs starters Rolexes after that.
Every single one.
Because he had a performance that would get him sent home any other time, but Jared Allen and Evan Mobley said, don't worry, we got this. We got 44 points on 24 shots.
Sam Merrill, too.
Yeah, it's Sam Merrill just absolutely bonkers from three. And to be fair, look, the Cavs have been a little wishy-washy on threes, and this is only the second road game they won all playoffs. They go into Detroit and win this, which is why I thought Detroit would probably end up pulling this out. But you saw forceful Evan Mobley. Evan Mobley was awesome, 7 of 10, 21 points, 12 boards, 6 assists, 2 blocks, 2 steals. Shut down everything defensively. Cade could do nothing. He could do nothing.
The Cavs shot 32% from downtown and won by 40, it felt.
Yeah. They weren't hitting threes like crazy. They were just able to get to the rim and finish. That's the thing. It was like when Allen and Mobley run, when you almost get 2 points per shot from your front court, okay, they had 44 points combined. You can't take 2 players. Hell, can you take 3 players? You
can take it whatever you want.
No. You can't take and combine 3 players on the Pistons to get 44 points.
That's not a good thing, amigo. There's only 4 people in double digits.
Yeah. Duncan Robinson, Jenkins, and Cunningham combined for 43.
Now, I did see Asar Thompson murder somebody. That was fun.
Yeah.
I did enjoy that.
Yeah, but Asar, again, this is the problem, okay? Tobias Harris was non-existent. Jalen Duren was non-existent.
Dude, Jalen Duren, man. I read a report this morning that he has cost himself the max deal.
He might have.
That his playoff performance has sounded so many alarms that he will get a new contract, and the Pistons will pay for him, but he ain't getting a max.
No.
And that's wild.
This is the world that...
How often do you go backwards from getting a max? Once they say you're a max guy, once Kendrick Perkins decides you're a max guy, everyone's like, oh, he's a max guy.
That's the thing is that in the new CBA structure, you're either a max guy or you're not. And if you're not, then you slot in. We saw Jabari Smith Jr. get his deal. We saw Shaedon Sharp get his deal. We saw Tumani Kamara get his deal. Like, guys are not just getting automatic maxes because they're good starters.
Exactly.
And this is like, Gobert's in a different world because he's older and he was under the old CBA when he got his deal. But the guys like Jalen, the guys like Walker Kessler for the Jazz, Donovan Clingan, the guys that are legitimately going to be competing for that starting spot for Team USA, because they're limited in some form or fashion right now, their contracts are not going to be supermaxes or maxes unless they cannot be played off the floor. And those guys aren't getting played off the floor defensively. They aren't getting played off the floor athletically. They're getting played off the floor because come playoff time, when you're like, and this is very similar. What is Evan Mobley? Is he Defensive Player of the Year?
Yeah.
What does he do when he sees Jalen Duren out there?
Goes at him.
Well, not just that, but like, if Jalen Duren's out at the 3-point line, where's Evan Mobley? He ain't out there.
No.
He's sinking all the way in to be a help side guy.
Doesn't need to.
Or Jared Allen's looking at him and going, I don't need to guard you out there. Now Evan Mobley can roam with Jared Allen at the paint. And so if you are not a threat, again, you want to know what teams think of you? See what they do in the playoffs. It is very different in an 82-game season versus a 16-game season.
In the classic, as you say multiple times, and I definitely agree with you, the plus-minus not being the most accurate representation of life, Jim Harden had 9 points on 2 of 10 shooting, 0 of 6 from downtown. Okay, that means he was 2 of 4 non-threes, 5 of 8 from the free throw line, 5 rebounds, 6 assists, a turnover, and he's a plus 31. Explain that to me.
It's very simple. Jared Allen and Evan Mobley, hyper efficient.
Yeah.
Like Donovan Mitchell had a good game, 10 of 22, 2 of 6 from 3, 26, 8 and 6. That's damn near what he averages. But when you have a front court that gives you 44 points on 24 shots, that's how do you overcome that?
You don't.
You like when they're that efficient. Again, I just said there's you can't take 3 Pistons and give yourself 44 points. You got that from those guys on hyper efficiency. 24 shots, 44 points.
On 2 guys, not 3, 2.
So when you get that level of efficiency, you have that ability to do that. I mean, the Pistons have to make a choice, and it sucks. Is it Asar or is it Duren?
I think you go with Asar. Duren is raising serious alarms for me.
But what's harder to get?
I know. You always say size.
Size is the hardest
You always
thing to
say
find.
Size.
Like, look, if the Pistons want to go out there and trade Asar for, or trade Duren and other capital and go try to get a big that's better than him, how many guys are better than Jalen Duren right now at his age, at his price, and what the things are going to be?
That are available?
No. Like, how
Just
many guys
period.
are just better than him? It's a short list.
It is.
So that's it's always like, oh, they need to go do this. I'm like, who are you gonna? Let's use the Blazers, like Jeremy Grant, because he's very much going to be the piece that's going to be moved.
He's the salary match,
Okay.
and he's a polarizing player on the Blazer
And
team.
if you're
going
gonna do that, you've got to go get shooting, because he's
20 points a game,
and he's 40% from 3 on volume. Look, if you want to trade JG, cool. But who are you going to go get to replace that, and what are you going to give up to go get that?
We talked about this in college football last year. If you're going to fire your coach, if you're going to fire James Franklin, you better know, Kalani Sitake is taking that job before you fire him.
It's the whole idea.
Otherwise, you settle with Matt Campbell. I like Matt Campbell, but he ain't Sitake.
He also wasn't your first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, or seventh option.
Yeah. He's not Kalen DeBoer.
And guess
what? I don't like DeBoer, but he's a better coach than Matt Campbell.
And guess what? Other teams know what you want. In this whole, let's roll this back to the Blazers. Like when they're trying to make a deal, they all know what you want. So what are they going to do? They're going to say, okay, we want that and this. They try to extract a pound of flesh. The number of, I think if fans knew how many discussions actually happen that never, ever, ever, ever turn into something, it's astronomical, because you're not just going to make a deal just to make a deal. You know what I mean? Like that. So what the Pistons do this offseason.
This isn't fantasy basketball.
No, and what the Pistons do this offseason, I don't think they need to panic. I think Cade is entering his prime. He is not like, oh my God, you have to make a move, and if it doesn't happen now, it's going to fall apart. It's like,
I'm about to put a futures bet on him for MVP next year.
I mean, there's a real chance he was going to be a top 3 finisher if his lung doesn't collapse. So
I truly believe he would be. I think it would have gone SGA, Jokic, Cade.
Yeah. I think so too.
Wemby 4.
I see. That's the thing, is I would have had Wemby winning. So, just because I value the defense that much. But yeah, like it's going to be very interesting to see what the Pistons do. I mentioned it last week. I had somebody. Did I mention it on there? The Trey Murphy one.
Yeah,
I know we talked about it. Yeah. Do you trade Asar for Trey?
He would fit really well on that team, I think.
You get a little less defense.
Sure.
But you get a guy who's a much better scorer, floor spacer. You still maintain the size. I mean, Tobias Harris, he was supposed to be kind of the patchwork guy. You need to improve that position. And I think that's probably what they try to do first. Improve that position before you try to move on from Asar or move on from Jalen. Because if you get a guy there who's more of a threat, then things start to change.
I think that's what's so nuts about this series. I'll say this and then we'll move on. Like, this is nothing about Cleveland winning. This is a Detroit issue.
Also, I think Cleveland is pretty damn good.
I think they're pretty good too, but we just spent almost this entire segment talking about Detroit. Like, they have issues.
No.
You can't be a 1 seed and go out like this.
No, you can't. And I think that's something they're going to have to reckon with. Now, for Cleveland, if Cleveland loses in the Eastern Conference Finals, it's still, I think, a bit of a failure for them.
I think so too.
And I think you will see real discussions about Harden, Mitchell, Allen. Mobley's the one guy that's not available.
He's with you.
Yeah.
You're riding that train.
So,
Sounds like they want to keep Harden.
I mean, they're kind of pot committed at this point. I mean, you're giving up the younger guard and Darius Garland for him, so.
I would have just kept Garland personally.
Yeah, me too.
When we come back, let's get into this. SGA wins his second consecutive MVP and puts him in a class all on his own. 105.1 The Fan. Well, Dad went on a podcast the other day, so we'll have to get into that in hour number 2. Sure, there'll be a lot of feelings. Boy, every time I feel like Tommy D has started to back off a little bit. He comes right back in. He's like, I will not be denied. You will not prevent me from causing a stir in the Blazer Nation. So we'll get to that in hour number 2, along with
I appreciate him.
Former head coach who would like to be the current head coach. A lot of Blazers in hour number 2, plus Web Gems. We just went through the conference finals. We'll take a peek at the matchups in the Big Nooner today. But I wanted to spend some time a little bit on Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, also known as SGA, who just landed his second consecutive MVP, which I believe makes him the only guard to do that other than Steve Nash and Michael to win back-to-back. I think they're the only guards. Now, do we count Magic Johnson as a guard?
Yeah, Magic, yeah.
Does he count as a guard?
Yeah.
Okay. Does Larry Bird count as a guard, or is he more of a small forward?
Yeah.
Okay, so then maybe it's Magic, Michael, and Steve Nash.
Magic just happened to be the biggest damn point guard we ever saw.
Yes.
That's really what it comes down to.
Which is funny. Side note, I'm going to tangent real quick. And that's why I don't count Magic as a point guard, because I'm just like, Magic is everything. If Magic played in today's era.
He literally played the 5 in the NBA Finals.
If Magic played in today's era, I do think he would dominate because of his size.
He would be LeBron.
Yeah, he would.
He better creator, not as good a scorer, but better creator.
Yeah.
But yeah, he would be LeBron.
I like Magic.
Oh, yeah.
I like Magic.
One of the most likable stars in the history of sports.
Shai wins this in a landslide. Nikola Jokic second, Victor Wembanyama third, Luka Doncic gaining a few votes, mostly fourth place votes, and Cade Cunningham in fifth. There's Jaylen Brown right there at 6, future Portland Trailblazer, Jaylen Brown, or Kawhi Leonard. Pick your poison. Mm-hmm. Would you rather have Kawhi or Jaylen? You'd rather have Kawhi.
Kawhi's a better player, but Jaylen.
Yeah, I'll take Jaylen Brown too. And SGA puts him in rarefied air. He bought everybody Burberry trench coats and giant, like, $30,000 watches.
That's what you do.
He's a nice guy. I like SGA.
Well, when you win MVP, it's built into your contract. I'm sure his bump for the accolade probably covered the price of those.
I would assume so. I
bet you he's probably got $1 million on that.
Yeah, probably.
That's probably $1 million.
Probably $1 million. He is only the 5th active player to be named the MVP in consecutive seasons. He's also 7th over the last 40 years to win multiple MVPs before turning 28. Those other players are Nikola Jokic, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Stephen Curry, Tim Duncan, Michael Jordan, and LeBron James.
Mm-hmm. Pretty good
Steph's
list.
also a guard. I don't know if you
That's
said
right,
that.
yeah.
Oh, that is.
Yeah.
Boom. I'm an idiot. Look at me just trying to prop up SGA even more. I forget old Steffi Curry over there. Every single one of those players, every retired player on those lists are all in the Hall of Fame.
I mean, SGA's already in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
He's got a title and 2 MVPs. He's 100% first ballot.
When is the next American going to win an MVP?
Cade's the only one they have a chance of right now.
I mean, I would say Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, and Edwards, they have chances to win MVPs.
Ant maybe. Jaylen and Tatum, it's passed.
It's passed?
Passed.
Oh.
Yeah. They don't put up the numbers enough. And with them on the same team, that's just not going to happen. You need to be kind of heliocentric and have a clear gap. Like, don't be wrong, Tatum's a better player than Brown, but because of the role that Jaylen played today, it's going to take away from Tatum in the long term. And they've already won a title, and Brown's already won a Finals MVP. They would have to do either one of those guys would have to do something. They'd have to average a 30-piece, like 38 and 6, while the other guy averages like 23. Like there'd have to be a sizable gap. Cade, because he's heliocentric, he has a chance. Ant has a chance if they get another piece around him that bumps him up there and his numbers go bonkers. After that, you're looking at the young guys. You're looking at, Flag. Like, he has a chance. You're looking at DeBonta Peterson. Like, it's been a while since, like, true dyed-in-the-wool, like, oh, my God, number one guys have gone one and have been American, have delivered. Like, Cooper delivered on this year.
And is going to continue.
Like,
I have no hesitations or qualms that Cooper Flag will not become that guy.
Yeah. So you've got, the Westbrooks and the KDs of the world that, the Hardens of the world. Like, it's been a while since one of those guys has popped. And now you're hoping, like, the Americans, like, Kawhi's not going to win one. Mitchell's not going to win one. They're really good. They're top 15 players, but To be one of them ones is different. The only thing about this that I'm a little surprised about is that how heavily SGA won this with first place votes.
It's because you got this thing. You're anti SGA, man.
I'm not anti SGA. I just think that Victor Wembanyama is the best player on the planet.
But I also think Nikola Jokic is the best player on the planet, and that's not what the NBA loves to do, though.
No, Jokic is the best offensive player on the planet. He had a very bad defensive year. If there's a comment on the NBA feed here that says if Wemby wins this series against the Thunder and goes on to win the title, this is going to be a bad MVP. The MVP is not about the playoffs. It's not about any of that stuff. No. It's about the regular season. That's what it is.
And Wemby missed a little time.
He did, but like for my money, if I had a vote, I would have voted Wemby 1, SGA 2. That's how I would have voted. I would not have had Jokic in my top 2.
The NBA, though, I've talked to you about this, and I don't know if I've said it on the air or not. The NBA has a really weird thing. They create narratives, and that's why I love putting money on Cade Cunningham to win it next year, because they are building him up. Now, this playoff series may not have helped his chances. In fact, it might have hurt him. But I felt all year it was like Cade Cunningham. Oh, wow, they're talking about Cade Cunningham again. Oh, weird, here's new highlights of Cade Cunningham on ESPN. And they build this narrative. Like when James Harden won his, it was like, well, it's James Harden's turn.
Also, Harden was doing stuff that we hadn't seen anybody analytically.
But we had voter fatigue with Nikola Jokic, so they gave it to Joel Embiid because it was his turn.
I mean, the NFL does it too.
I know, and it drives me absolutely bonkers. And I feel like this year, as long as SGA wasn't garbage or hurt, he was winning the MVP. Now, he ended up shooting 55, 40, and 87 or whatever those splits are, which is stupid.
Yes.
And averaging 30-plus a game.
Considering the amount of mid-rangers he takes, yes.
Also stupid that it backs it. I've got no issues. He would have been my vote as well. If he does this again next year and Wemby has the same season, misses a little time, defensive player of the year, but not quite fully unlocked offensively, will they get tired of SGA and vote for somebody else?
I think if Wemby goes...
I hate that.
Well, if Wemby goes and wins a title this year, he's going to be such a favorite for MVP next year, it's not even funny.
And it probably will hit.
Yes.
Because, like I said, the narrative.
All he needs to do is just play games. That's all he needs to do is play games at that point. But, look, SGA is a deserving winner. I'm not saying that at all. For my money, I would have given it to Wemby because of what he does defensively.
Are we ready to yell at Dad?
Oh, let's do it.
Tommy D.
It'll be fun.
Tommy D back in the news. We got some great audio that I want to thank the morning guys for chopping up for us. Let's get into some comments that Tom Dundon made. Hour number 2 is next. That's Danny. I'm Patrick. 105.1 The Fan.
A Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
First on the Fan, NBA Conference Finals get underway tonight. Newly minted back-to-back MVPs Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and the Thunder hosting Wemby and the Spurs in Game 1 of the Western Conference Finals. Tip-off just after 5:30 on NBC. Thunder are a 6.5-point favorite. The Eastern Conference Finals start tomorrow as the Cavaliers blew out the Pistons in Game 7 of the semis last night, 125-94. Donovan Mitchell, 26 points, 8 assists, 6 rebounds. Cleveland heads to New York to battle the Knicks. Other NBA news today, the Pelicans are reportedly hiring former Magic head coach Jamal Mosley on a 5-year contract. Mosley led Orlando to 3 straight playoff berths in his 5 seasons there. We got a hockey Game 7 tonight in the Stanley Cup playoffs. The Canadiens and the Sabres play for the right to face Carolina in the Eastern Conference Finals. That's a 4:30 start on ESPN. And your Portland Fire wrap up their first homestand of the season tonight, taking on the winless Connecticut Sun in the Moda Center. Tip-off just after 7. Coverage starts at 6:45 on 910 ESPN Portland. Fire are a 3.5-point favorite. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. I'm Brandon Henson from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt and missing work. Insurance companies acting like jerks. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
The Fan is live on YouTube and Twitch.
Hour number deuce here. If you're missing the first hour, you can download that, The Fan Podcast, 1051thefan.com, the Odyssey app, wherever you get your podcasts. If you missed Dirt and Sprague this morning, if you can't catch Primetime Live, go back and check that out wherever you get yours, including the YouTubes. Rewind, fast forward, except for Into the Future, for that would be impossible. Coming up this hour, we will talk a lot of Blazers this hour as the Tear Bear is back in the news. Do we want the Tear Bear back in the news? But we start here with Dad, okay? Dad, Tom Dundon. Brandon, have I explained this to you?
Not yet.
So Tom Dundon is Dad, and Shield Tile is Mom.
Gotcha.
So whenever something bad happens, Mom comes out and smooths it over. Great smile, good family man, all this kind of stuff.
I don't know if you know, but he did a podcast too.
Shield did?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't catch that one.
Yeah.
Was it good?
It was
a
what
nice Shield
It
Tile?
was what you expect.
I love Shield. See, Mom's nice. Dad can be a little prickly.
Did it with his wife.
Oh, did he? Oh, see, dude, Shield knows what's going on.
Yeah.
Mom knows what's going on. So Dad went on a podcast, the Game Over podcast, with Max Kellerman and
Rich Paul.
And Rich Paul, thank you.
Who, weirdly enough, his agency represents Tiago Splitter.
That's funny. That's funny. I didn't put those two together. I did not know he was represented by Rich Paul. Where do you want to start, Danny? There's a lot to get to. Tom Dundon ends up covering going into the luxury tax. He also addresses the two-way players, T-shirts, and his image of being cheap, that kind of stuff, and Moda Center stuff.
Let's just work our way through to Moda last.
To Moda last. Okay, this is, let's go being cheap. Let's go there.
I mean, actually, I'm going to use what you said because I hadn't thought about it like that, that's what's confusing is, like my hockey team's been over the cap many times. They were the lowest in the league. They were at the floor when I bought them. You can go over the cap in hockey. If you have a hurt player, you can replace them. So I've been over the cap multiple times because there was a rule that allowed you to go over the cap. And at the same time, when I walk out of a room, I turn off the lights. And so that my friends make fun of me all the time. They tell me how bad I am at being rich. And like I just don't want to waste money. I want to invest it. I'll have as many masseuse. I'll have the best food. We're going to take care of the players because it helps you win. It's part of the deal. Some of the stuff about how we're going to run the business, Portland spends $100 million more a year on their business than the Hurricanes do, not including players. The Hurricanes, since I bought the team, have first or second best record in the league. So I'm just not going to waste $100 million just because somebody wants to write our article calling me cheap. I'm just not going to do it. And so it's hard because I don't think about a budget when it comes to the playing team and how to make sure we win.
I can't believe he said he turns the light switch off. This is the most dad thing in the world, dude. Like the lockbox on the heater, on the thermostat, turn lights off when you leave. My old man used to tell me that all the time.
There's a couple things to take away from there. The NBA team costs $100 million more to operate. No crap. Everything that comes with that, he's like, I'm just not going to do that. That's the ask. That's the expectation. If you want to piss off players, if you want to piss off coaches, if you want to piss off support personnel, Brandon, you're in that building. You know exactly how things are done and how things are treated in that arena and how guys are taken care of. That is the ask, is it not?
Oh, yeah. No, that's right. Yeah. It's just funny with all this cheap talk. I'm always like looking behind my shoulder like, am I going to get fired today? Where's the next cut going to be?
And like that's Brandon works for the team. Like that's a thing that is not that puts you on blast. Like that's a real sentiment that's in the organization right now.
Right. Yeah.
That is not a good place to be.
Understood. However, he did mention that when it comes to players and coaches, like they will be taken care of.
Okay, the two-way players weren't.
And this is Tom Dundon on two-way players.
Some of the stuff that was blamed on money is actually not 100% true that I thought about the money. Like on traveling players, I just made a mistake. I just don't understand the league. In hockey, we don't travel extra people because we're not on vacation. We're here to win. So we don't want the distraction. The NBA seems to live with those distractions. It's not how I think about it. So you sort of got to learn, what's the differences between the two leagues. And, the hotel story with the staff is an interesting story, I think, because normally when you travel, you get late checkout, right? In this case, in sports, it's usually like 5% and never comes up. We went because it was last minute going to Phoenix. There was no hotels. I guess Phoenix in March is a pretty popular place. So had trouble getting hotels. And the hotel really wanted us to be out early because they needed the rooms. And so they wanted us to pay for a second night. And so we did that for the coaches and the players, but we got them to let us leave at 1:00. And I had a room at the hotel. I was there. So I'm like, lunch starts at 1:45. We have a huge ballroom with this really nice lunch for everybody. So I said, look, we'll do the players and the coaches. We'll stay. We'll pay the extra night. For the staff, we've got this big ballroom with food. We'll go down there and work. And everyone was down there. I was down there. I actually learned a lot during that hour because I got to talk to some of the training staff, et cetera. Like, I would do it again. I think it's actually pretty stupid to think that people who are there to work, who are being fed, and 45 minutes later, they weren't in the lobby. They brought their bags down in the room right by where the bus was, right next to my bag. And we sat down there and talked. And, if that's too hard for people, I'm not right for them. I want that culture.
F your feelings, bro.
It's just not going to go over well. And he's already saying, like, I'm learning, but it's like, are you learning?
I think the fact that he's able to come out and acknowledge that he's made mistakes, yeah, I think he's learning.
For a guy that doesn't seem to care about it, seems like he's caring about it real quick.
That was a ruse that we knew from the jump that everybody cares what people think about them. It's just levels of how much and what you care about.
Also, the two-way part of that, I do find it funny that everybody bought, or not everybody, that people that bought Joe Cronin saying it was my fault, I did it. It's like, no, he did not.
Joe, but to your point about Brandon, Joe's trying to keep his job too.
But it wasn't. It was never that. The traveling party. The coaches, the scouts, the front office, all the roles grew and expanded under Joe. Like, that's the thing that people, like, I've tried to tell people that, like, for all the Jody Allen's the worst. I'm like, bro, there are more people doing more things and things are better now than they were under Neil. Because Joe asked to do them and they did. That Joe not traveling, like, what have we talked about over the last year about how the locker room is? And how much guys care and how much they're good guys. Where do you think that onus comes from?
Oh, from the tippy top.
From the front office. Mm-hmm. Do you think the guy that's trying to emphasize all of that is going to tell the two-way guys, sucks to suck guys, stay home?
Well, I think he's opening up a larger discussion that you and I have touched on a little bit, and I kind of agree with him that there is a lot of catering in the NBA that's probably not as necessary as it needs to be.
Okay.
I know you say that. And you're around them all the time. So you guys...
You're going to tell guys on the other 29 teams that you're going to come here and things just aren't going to be as good.
But see, you keep saying that players are going to be treated poorly, and he is saying the exact opposite.
He did literally that thing.
And then he acknowledged that he was in the wrong.
Okay.
Because he said the NBA does things that I don't do and I wasn't aware of, and I was wrong about that.
And then he said, I'm going to continue not doing those things because I'm not going to spend the money.
But then he had them travel with him as well the next time.
Okay.
So he learned from that.
How many mistakes does he have to make before it becomes a problem?
Well, how many mistakes has he made? Let's ask that question.
Multiple already.
But there aren't new ones coming around. We tend to recycle the same ones like they're new news.
He owned the team for 6 weeks, and he managed to fall face first a half dozen times.
I can kind of agree with that. But I like that he's learning. He is saying, look,
he's not learning yet. The only thing he's learned is the two-way thing. Everything else, he has not learned on. There's no evidence that he has learned on anything other than the two ways.
There's no evidence that he hasn't either.
But that's what I'm saying. People are like, well, let's just see. I'm like, no. The evidence we have right now is that he has made mistakes. He has corrected one of them. Coaches are still pissed at him. Like, that's a real thing that's happened out there.
And he doesn't care.
And to my point, that's a problem. And I'd argue he does care because he did make one change. Mm-hmm. And that's the thing. Is like, I'm not sitting here saying this guy's going to be the worst. Like, I saw somebody say like that me and Hyken and Richmond and Orem and Freeman were out here pushing this, like, we hate Tom Dundon. I want him to be successful. But in order to be a successful owner, there are boxes you have to tick. There are things you have to do. You've not heard me once, on air or off air, say that he's not going to spend on the roster. No one will ever hear me say that because there's no evidence of that. In Carolina, he is absolutely right. He has spent on that roster. And I firmly believe he will spend on the roster. I firmly believe they are going to try to do a very, very, very big transaction this summer. Firmly believe that. That's not the issue. It's all the ancillary stuff that when you talk about organizations, they matter. If you're not LA, if you're not Miami, you want to go above and beyond. Mm-hmm. And the Blazers have had that. They have had that with the Allen family.
I think a lot with me is that ancillary stuff, if I can be frank, I don't care about. I want the team on the floor to play enjoyable basketball to watch and win titles. If that means some dude got his feelings hurt or some dude cut corners on costs, I'm okay with that.
Where is the example of that working in the NBA? I will go back to that every single freaking time because it doesn't exist.
Well, where's the example where it doesn't work? Like, who's done this in the past? Because I can't think of
the Pelicans.
Wow. The Pelicans, I think they got way more issues.
The Hornets.
Okay, but they're turning it around right now.
What happened?
Well, they got a new owner. Okay.
That's my point. It's like, people are like, well, the Thunder, they run things cheap. No, they don't. No, they don't. They've got $40 billion worth of ownership behind Clay Bennett. The Spurs. Do you know how much money the Spurs spend on scouting and analytics and everything behind the scenes? Brother, that place is run like a DOD, like military installation.
But I don't think Tom Dundon's come out and said he's going to cut those kind of costs. He's
already... have you seen a replacement yet for Mike Schmitz?
No.
Okay.
Maybe that's Joe's job, and Joe hasn't found one yet.
Okay, but have you heard anything about that? Brandon, have you heard about them spending more money behind the scenes on things?
No. Not yet, at least.
That's my point. Like, the things that are happening, I want to see happen. I want them to go get a replacement for Mike. I don't want to see them downsize and run lean. This isn't a Kanban organization. We aren't in production. Like,
could be.
Is that how you want to see things run?
If you win titles, I don't think I care.
Wow, so look at you, the commie going full Amazon.
I think so, yeah. Man.
Unbelievable.
I think there's a lot of fans out there that believe that same sentiment. That
I think there's a lot of fans
certain
that don't
team
understand how
employees
things work.
Well, sure. Certain team employees that don't travel, that don't get catered to. I don't think the average fan cares about that.
That stuff doesn't matter to me like that on that kind of thing. Like, but behind the scene, like again, the whole like pressure makes diamonds thing. I agree with that to an extent. But there are things. The NBA is not the NHL, and you cannot sit out here and just run this lean organization.
And I think he's finding that out. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, a couple more to get into, some thoughts from Tom Dundon on the Moda Center, your beloved T-shirts that you all wanted so desperately, and spending into the luxury tack. 105.1 The Fan. 503-864-6326 is the fan text line. If you have thoughts, send those in. Also over on the YouTubes. Trevor brings up a great point. He wants to know why it costs $100 million more for the Blazers to operate than the Hurricanes. I think that's a fair question to ask. Like, why? What is that $100 million getting you? What is that being spent on? I think it's a fair question. Now, you can give me the answer, and the answer can be valid. And the $100 million can be used for something worthy. I'm not saying, like, I instantly think that that's bad. But I would like to know why it costs so much.
Significantly more. Number one, broadcast.
What do you mean?
Trailblazers own their broadcast. All of the equipment. Everything.
Do the Hurricanes not own theirs?
No. Nope.
Oh.
More teams are looking to do what the Blazers are doing and keeping it all in-house. The Blazers have been doing this for 30 years now, I think.
Time. Yep.
Yeah. And there's a lot of money that goes into that. There's a lot of things. You know, travel party. And they all people are like, oh, they're catered to. We need to shut up.
Well, that's how I feel. I think they're a little catered to.
Yeah, they are, because they make infinitely more money. Top paid NHL players make $7-8 million a year. These guys make $55 million a year.
But they're more hockey players. You got to travel with more people. That's more hotel rooms.
Sure.
They play the same amount of games. They're traveling across the country into Canada.
Mm-hmm. And they don't have the same lifestyles. If you don't like it, don't buy the team.
I do think that's a fair point.
It's like that's what I keep getting
He's
back to.
Figured out. He likes sports, clearly.
Yeah, no.
And he saw an opportunity to get in the NBA and said, I want to try that.
And I want him to be successful, but everyone's like, oh, they should run it like this. I'm like, the other 29 teams don't run it like that, guys, and you're going to piss guys off doing that. Well, the other 29 teams should. It's like,
your beloved T-shirts. Tom Dundon spoke about that.
Maybe the team psychologist can come tell me why I'm like this, but I agree with you. It just seems so obvious to me that you should do it this way. And then sometimes like this T-shirt thing, I wasn't trying to save money. I just kind of thought T-shirts were kind of silly.
The T-shirt thing is, when you got there, the T-shirts for the fans were laid out on the seats, right? And you got rid of that?
No.
What is it?
No. What happened was they called me. We made the play-in game or made the playoffs, and they called and said, it was a play-in game, I think. I don't know, maybe it was the playoffs. They said, hey, do you want to do T-shirts? And I was like, no, let's do towels. It was that long of a conversation because in Carolina, we do towels and it's awesome. Like the arenas, they're all waving them. Well, I got to the Portland game. No one waved any towels. So we tried to get T-shirts for the next game. I didn't know T-shirts were such a thing because I hadn't thought about the fact that in hockey, we've got jerseys. Everybody wants to wear their jersey. And so they don't want T-shirts because they got their jerseys.
Right, but
so
in basketball,
it didn't
not
cross
the case.
my mind.
Yeah.
Straightforward. I like towels.
You know what you've never heard me complain about once, on air or off air? The T-shirts or the towels.
Yeah.
I don't care. Like
the only thing you've heard me say, and the only thing that I bitched about and will continue to bitch about, is you lazy ass Blazer fans at this game
they don't put them
not
on,
waving
or not
towels.
waving towels. Yeah.
Like, what was the point? Like, you're just so butthurt that you didn't get a T-shirt. You know, I'm not going to wave my towel. Cool. Welcome to the worst environment I saw in the playoffs.
Well, I mean, it was
not the worst, yeah. but it was brutal from a TV aesthetic. Yeah. It was brutal.
No.
Just like everybody got towels, and I was like, okay. Especially coming off of San Antonio game 1, that was like epic in terms of atmosphere from a television standpoint.
People in the text line, you're being dramatic about this. No, I'm only talking about what I hear from behind the scenes.
Yeah, and to be fair, Danny's dramatic about everything.
It's true.
So,
but also, you've never heard me once complain about T-shirts or towels because I don't think it was a big deal.
Let's get into the real stuff here. Tom Dundon had some thoughts on the luxury tax and some Moda Center stuff as well, and here's him on going over the luxury tax.
Look, Joe called me, and I don't even know if it was allowed, but he called me at the trade deadline, which technically we didn't own the team yet. And he had a deal, actually 2 different deals, but one in particular where we would have gone into the tax and it would have been whatever, $20 million. And, you know, I was fine with it. I'm like, I want to run the business properly, but I want to win more than I want to make money. And that seems kind of obvious if you're in this business, right? Winning's the only reason you do it. Why would you buy a team? And so obviously there's a lot comes with staying in that tax in the NBA, right? They've made the rules in a way that it's complicated, but to go in strategically because you can pick up a young player or have a chance to win, I got to believe, well, we would definitely do it. And I got to think most people would. I don't know many owners that wouldn't do that. And I don't think we would operate any differently. I hope we're in a position where going in the tax means we have a chance to win. And if we have a chance to win, the tax is irrelevant.
And I think that's the whole shebang right there. For me, it's winning cures all ills. Winning covers a lot of Band-Aids. And if you're willing to go into the luxury tax and bring in a Giannis Antetokounmpo or an Anthony Davis or a Jaylen Brown, Trey Murphy III, you're willing to bring those in, that's going to permeate through the locker room that they're going to say, cool, this guy wants to win. And if they are getting nice hotels and they are getting good food and taken care of as they travel, that sounds like a winning combo to me. But if Johnny and Diane get fired because they're not necessary, I don't have a problem with that.
That the whole trimming the fat thing, I don't care about. And here's the thing: Joe flat out told me after the deadline that the deal that they're talking about there, that they would have gone $20 million in the cap or over into the tax, and Tom alluded to it there. The young player, they would have taken on salary in order to do that. If that deal that he's talking about there is not Giannis. Giannis is the other deal. Giannis is the other deal.
Giannis.
Tuesday night going into the trade deadline, them and Miami got the closest to dealing for Giannis. Like, that's the reality. From everybody that I've talked to, both here locally, nationally, and with those teams.
What the hell does Miami have that anybody wants? I swear. I swear. These guys, like Tyler Hero's the next Larry Bird, okay, according to them. And I don't know, Jaime Jaquez, the kid from UCLA, however you say his name, like he's the next, I don't know, small forward of life.
It would have been Khalil Ware and some other stuff too. But yeah, I know. Trust me, I'm with you.
I don't get it.
But I do believe Dundon. On the player side, you will not hear me complain about the player salary and like what they're willing to do on that side. But he also said something out both sides of his mouth. The whole idea of like, I don't care about making money. Yeah, you do. Otherwise, you wouldn't be out here trying to trim things. Yeah, you do. That's the thing is like he wants to have it both ways.
Well, yeah, you trim it so you can overspend. And then you meet in the middle.
That doesn't offset. He just said $100 million. Let's do the math there. $20 million in the luxury tax in the first year does not equate to $100 million more. That is making more money.
That is.
So there's not an owner in the NBA that is more interested in winning outside of maybe Steve Ballmer, who has more money than all of them combined, who is sitting there saying that. Especially,
he's in trouble right
especially
now.
Not an ownership group that doesn't have the money necessary to fully fund the team yet as a purchase price. They bought 81% of the team. They don't own 100% of the team.
Yeah, they got it on layaway.
So the idea that he is saying he wants to win more than he wants to win, or he wants to win more than he wants to make money, I don't buy that for a second. I think he wants both, which, yeah, duh. But don't tell me you don't want to make money. You didn't buy this to not make money.
Yeah, I don't care if he makes money or not. I just want to win.
He does.
I just want to win. Maybe I'll go to a game. That's what I want Tom Dundon to do. Convince me to go to a game.
I mean, that's not hard to do.
I don't want to spend my money on that.
Okay.
Personally, right now. I'm getting close, though.
There you go.
Getting close. Team's more likable. I got my boy DC. Found out he likes Brother Lynch, Andre Nicotina. Seen some hard stuff over there, man.
Likes the nasty stuff.
Let's take a quick break. When we come back, he had some thoughts on the Moda Center as well, and we'll wrap up our Tom Dundon conversation for the day. We'll toss it to Brandon over there with sports.
Now, from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
This update brought to you by Laurelhurst Market Steakhouse and Butcher Shop, a great spot for any occasion. And don't forget, you save 10% on your Butcher Shop order when you dine in. Menus and more at laurelhurstmarket.com. First on the Fan, the NBA Conference Finals get underway tonight. Newly minted back-to-back MVP Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and the Thunder hosting Wemby and the Spurs in Game 1 of the Western Finals. Tip-off just after 5:30 on NBC. Thunder are a 6.5-point favorite. The Eastern Conference Finals start tomorrow as the Cavaliers blew out the Pistons in Game 7 of the semis last night, 125-94. Donovan Mitchell, 26 points, 8 assists, 6 rebounds. Cleveland heads to New York to battle the Knicks. Other NBA news today, the Pelicans are reportedly hiring former Magic head coach Jamal Mosley on a 5-year contract. Mosley led Orlando to 3 straight playoff berths in his 5 years there. We got a hockey Game 7 tonight in the Stanley Cup playoffs. The Canadiens and the Sabres play for the right to face Carolina in the Eastern Conference Finals. That's a 4:30 start on ESPN. And your Portland Fire wrapping up their first homestand of the season tonight, taking on the winless Connecticut Sun in the Moda Center. Tip-off just after 7. Coverage starts at 6:45 on 910 ESPN Portland. Fire are a 3.5-point favorite. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. I'm Brandon Henson from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt and missing work. Insurance companies acting like jerks. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
The home of dirt and spray.
We'll get to Web Gems here in a moment. We'll try to sneak a double seggy in here. Maybe we'll save it for tomorrow, the Terry Stotts situation. I did not expect us to go this long. But, you know, we just do it live and do it on the
Oh,
fly.
come on. We can run Terror Bear.
Yeah. I just sit here and listen to Bonnie Raitt all day. Tears her up inside. I played that song for my daughter the other day, and she was like, this song's really sad. And I was like, yeah, it kind of is. It kind of is. But Bonnie's the GOAT, so we love her. Having this conversation about Tom Dundon on the Game Over podcast with Rich Paul and Max Kellerman. I'm not familiar with the podcast. Have you heard this frequently?
No.
No, me neither. This just came across. I miss the old days of Max Kellerman when he was an ESPN guy.
That's good.
Yeah. I don't know if I need to hear from Rich Paul.
I mean,
I don't know if I need agent stuff.
yeah, I'm good.
I'm kind of good on that. But Tom Dundon sat down and went through a plethora of stuff. If you missed any of that, you can go back and listen to it on the Fan Podcast or over on the YouTubes. But then he also, the last thing we'll get to, he discussed the Moda Center. As I know that for a lot of fans is not even just fans of the team, but Portland citizens is kind of a hot topic. And this is what he had to say.
Yeah, I mean, when I bought the Hurricanes, all I heard was, because I was from Texas, we were going to move the team to Houston. You know, moving a team's difficult. People grew up loving the team.
How would that work? Well, I guess you could.
4 million people.
There's no hockey team in Houston.
Oh, you bought the Hurricanes. Oh, sorry. I
Sorry.
Yeah, I misheard you there.
And so, you know, we didn't move the Hurricanes. We ended up getting a deal done. And we went through the same thing in Portland. Before I even bought the team, I had an agreement with the city and the state. We had an agreement in principle. They've already approved half of it. You know, assuming that all gets done, then this is a non-story. So, you know, for me, it's never been really a thing. You know, you didn't buy the team to move it. We bought the Portland Trail Blazers.
But if you have to, if you're not getting the support from the city or the state, you know, it puts you in a tough spot, right?
Yeah, I mean, we would deal with that if it ever comes up, but
hopefully it
obviously we have to solve problems when we have problems. Today, the problem we're trying to solve is just to get a lease extension and get the building renovated, and you know, those are fun things to do, right? Like,
yeah, absolutely.
You know, making the building better and adding some energy to that building's like, those are things I enjoy doing.
Can we put this to bed now?
God, I hope so.
Can we really? Like, I'm so done with it.
All because a couple of Portland city council members are being stupid.
Well, and then in that podcast too, there's like the media. For some reason, the media wants a team to move. It's like the NBA is so starved for drama that they're like, let's cook up drama wherever we can. Ooh, we need to get Portland out of the league.
They're not going anywhere.
Rich Paul was like, well, you know, I mean, if the city doesn't cooperate, and Tommy D is just like, the city is.
Well,
I don't know what you're talking about.
He's saying we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. And like people are like, well, let's get a 30-year lease as opposed to a 20-year lease or a 25-year lease or whatever. It's like, just get a lease done and get on with it. People are comparing this to Seattle, and it's like, no, that got exorbitantly worse.
Yeah. And
for the most part, people here, both locally and in the state, are on board. There's just a few knuckleheads in this stupid city that can't figure it out.
For a city you live in, you sure do hate
I don't live here. I will not live here. I refuse. I make sure I live not in Washington or Multnomah County.
I thought you were going to take a shot at my state.
No.
The state of Washington is great. You're going to be in Vancouver before you know it.
Nah.
I'll bet you Danny moves to Vancouver instead of Texas.
Oh, no.
Come over to my side, dude. Water's nice. Water's not nice.
That
Vancouver Lake is kind of gross.
That's plus 1 million money.
Oh, really?
Oh, God, yes. I will move to Texas long before I move to Washington.
Somebody that's interested in moving back to Portland would be one Terry Stotts. He said the other day, he was quoted as, I would love to be the Portland Trail Blazers head coach.
Shout out Dwight James. Dwight broke the story. Got a great relationship with Terry. I have confirmed it with multiple sources directly familiar with the Terror Bear himself. Terry would love coming back here. And here's some positive Tom Dundon stuff. I have been told that the money would not be an issue. Now, would Terry be the highest paid coach in the league? No, but he's not getting the $1.5 million.
He shouldn't be the highest paid coach in the league.
No,
There's a guy out there named Steve Kerr who's got 4 of them things.
But you know what I mean. Like,
yeah.
Would Terry probably take less than he would get otherwise? Yeah. But he would be paid, let's just say Terry asked for 8. I think he would get 6. Put it that way.
Okay.
Like, I think Tom would be like, Tom Dundon, from everybody I've talked to, has to win a negotiation. Has to.
Oh, okay.
He's one of those kind of guys. For those that are not familiar with the Athletic article from that has the anonymous agents, Tom Dundon is viewed as the worst person to deal with in the NHL when it comes to negotiations. It's Danny Ainge-esque. Like Ainge, when he was with the Celtics, had to get his pound of flesh. He had to.
And always did.
And his thing was
never make a deal with Danny Ainge.
No, and that was the thing with Masai Ujiri tried to do the same thing in Toronto, but for whatever reason, he didn't make the same deal with the Devil that Danny Ainge made. And so it didn't work out for him. And people are like, well, good, I want to see Tom Dundon do that. It's like, well, yes and no. Like, again, if it turns into a title, great. But if you piss enough people off, okay. But I'd love Terry back because what does this team need more than anything right now?
Offense.
Terry is one of the best coaches in the NBA at optimizing guys offensively.
I also would like a coach with real experience.
Yeah.
That's where I am. I'm not
I would
interested in
100% run it back with Terry.
I am not interested in the Jared Dudleys of the world. I'm just not. I just saw that with Chauncey Billups, and I just saw it with Thiago Splitter. You know, and some of those guys I like, and some of those guys I don't like, etc. I just
a coach that's respected when he walks in, knows how to do things, knows how to manage egos, knows how to get the most out of guys, knows how to optimize guys. People are like, well, Terry wasn't a good defensive coach. All right, go back to 2014-15 when he had defensive personnel, when he had Wes Matthews, when he had Nick Batum, when he had LaMarcus Aldridge, when he had Robin Lopez. They were top 5 defense.
I just don't know if there are any better candidates than that. My other question, though, is Terry Stotts a candidate anywhere else? Because
there's only so many openings right now.
I know, but kind of like you said, finding out how a player is in the playoffs by how they hunt you. How valuable is Terry Stotts as a head coach if nobody else is interested in it?
Terry has had multiple head coaching opportunities that he's turned down.
Oh, okay.
Not necessarily in this cycle, but yeah.
I wonder why Golden State's moving on.
Terry and Stackhouse both opted to leave.
Yeah, I wonder what's going on there.
To change.
Yeah.
So
I would love the Terror Bear back in town.
Yeah.
Plus, he goes to Timbers games, and I like seeing him at Timbers games.
And look, you're talking about a team that's going to have Damian Lillard at the tip of the spear next year.
And if you want to see Denny's game evolve, Donovan's game evolve, those guys could benefit from a Terry Stotts type offensive mind.
Who's going to look to optimize things and is going to have pet plays and is going to, like, for all the people getting mad at Thiago about sideline out of bounds plays and baseline out of bounds plays, you're not worrying about that with Terry.
Plus, he's got the best nickname in the history of the Blazers. He's the Terror Bear.
Terror Bear.
The Terror Bear's awesome.
And selfishly, I want Terry back because I like Terry.
I like Terry, too.
I said it.
I like Terry.
I like Terry. I liked his offense. People are like, they're too ISO heavy. I'm like, they're pick and roll heavy. They're one of the best pick and roll teams in the entire NBA. Like, what are we doing here? You want to talk about a guy who, like, you know, when something works, who's going to stick to it? Terry finds that scab and picks at it. Buddy, he picks it until there's nothing left. And I love that about him.
I don't know if I've ever told you this story, but when the Timbers hosted the MLS Cup, when they were in the MLS Cup, what is that, 2021, 22?
He's sitting next to you, right?
I was kind of wandering around the stadium. I may have somehow got myself in the building that day without an actual seat. So I just kind of was wandering around, and we scored a goal to tie the game, and everyone's freaking out. I'm high-fiving people, and I turned to my right, and there's this, like, 6'8" dude giving me a high five that I had to, like, jump to give him a high five, and it was the Terror Bear. It was one of those moments where all excited. I was like, oh, hey, coach. It's good to see you. He's like, yeah. He had a beer in his hand, gave me a high five. Forever will be loved in my brain.
I mean,
forever loved in my brain for simply giving me a high five with a beer in his hand. And I was like, I like you.
No, Terry's well-liked, well-respected, great offensive coach. And look, if they made a move for Giannis, like, you want to talk about a guy who's going to optimize that stuff? That's exactly what he's going to do.
And this texter brings up a great point, too. The defensive issues Stotts had might not be as bad when he has guys that play defense. That's the truth. I mean, look, I know Dame has improved his defense, but Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum is a brutal backcourt for defense.
Again, I'll go back to when he had plus defenders and Wes Matthews, Nick Batum, LaMarcus Aldridge, Robin Lopez. They had a really good defense.
They're pretty good, yeah.
And guess what he had after those guys left? He had a team that his general manager built for him that was offensively minded. Very much so. Chauncey Billups, I remember when he took over for Terry over that guard-oriented offense, Chauncey Billups, I think it was like the second month, he's like, screw it. He said it publicly. I'll just play 4 guards then because I don't have size and I don't have defense.
And I don't care.
He was like, if this is what you're going to give me, fine. This is what I'm going to work with.
I do the best I can and let the chips fall where they may.
But if you're talking about a team, let's say they go get Giannis or they go get Anthony Davis.
Mm-hmm.
If you've got a team, if your starting lineup is Damian Lillard, Tumani Kamara, Denny Avdia, Anthony Davis, Donovan Clingan,
that's nice.
Do you
defense.
think that's going to be a good defensive team?
I think it is.
If Drew Holiday's coming off your bench as your second guard,
yeah, just having Tumani and AD on the court at the same time would be great.
Your rim protection with AD and Donovan,
or Giannis and Donovan.
As a reminder, Giannis Antetokounmpo, really good defender. Anthony Davis, when healthy, really good defender. So, yeah, I would not hesitate to hire Terry.
Wow, Terry Stotts with Damian Lillard and Giannis Antetokounmpo. Truly what Milwaukee could have been.
Mm-hmm. If Adrian Griffin didn't embarrass him in front of the entire team.
Truly would have been what they wanted to achieve.
And that's the thing. That's what Adrian Griffin had to learn the hard way. You don't disrespect Terry Bear.
No, not my guy.
Nope.
My boy, Terry Stotts.
Don't let it happen.
When we come back, Web Gems, we'll take a palate cleanser on some basketball. We'll get to some more basketball in the big nooner. Web Gems is next. 105.1 The Fan and the Fan Sports Network. All right, Web Gems, everybody's favorite. We do it every single day at 11:45. Coming up in the Big Nooner, we'll take a peek at these conference finals matches as the Knicks will host the Cleveland Cavaliers and the Spurs and Thunder from Oklahoma City will get the party started tonight. And then I will ask you the question, Danny.
Woo!
How nauseating will Knicks coverage be of the Western Conference Finals and potentially the NBA Finals? But a little basketball palate cleanser here. Have you seen what's going on, Danny, at your St. Louis Cardinals Busch Stadium over the weekend?
No.
No?
No.
You haven't seen this?
No, I was slammed all weekend.
So on Friday, I believe it's the Stephen S. F. Austin baseball team was in town, and they went to a Cardinals game. And later on in the game, they eventually took off all their shirts. There was like 17 of them in the crowd. Well, and then Oliver Marmol, the head manager for the St. Louis Cardinals, decided to purchase any number of tickets for people who wanted to come into the game and take their shirts off. And they got into right field, dude, and it was like a mob.
Wow.
In right field. And they're chanting the whole game. They're hooting and hollering. Every time Jordan Walker stepped up to the plate, they're going, MVP.
Love it.
MVP. And Marmol said it was just the most amazing environment, and he said he will do anything possible to keep this thing going.
Keep it going. Look, man.
Dudes being dudes, taking off their shirts. I'm not going to be one of those guys. But more power to you.
When you get something and it works, I go back to the Angels and the Rally Monkey.
The Rally
Something
Monkey.
just stupid that catches fire and goes. Arizona State basketball, when they do the window. Have you seen that?
No.
They set up the there's a particular.
Yeah,
You remember the name for
curtains.
it?
Yeah, I can't remember what they used to call it. But
They've like a PVC pipe little thing underneath the free right behind the basket, right behind the stanchion, and they do like a curtain show, and like right as they're getting ready to shoot, they open up the curtain. They'll have some stupid outfit on.
Okay.
But it's just like this fun
just
thing,
works.
and it's just ridiculous. And I want to say somebody actually charted it, and like when you shoot on that side, your free throw percentage goes down. Like it's an actual thing that serves as a distraction. And I'm like, that's so stupid. It's so awesome.
the curtain of distraction.
Curtain of distraction. There you go. And it's always something ridiculous. And it all started, I want to say, about 10 years ago?
Yeah,
that sound about right?
Yep.
And it's just like stupid things like that take hold and then become a part of home court advantage or home field advantage. Like, I love stuff like that. I absolutely – look, man, I hate the Yankees. Right field bleacher creatures?
Oh, God.
Love them.
Oh, God.
Love them. Absolutely awesome. They sit there.
What did I do wrong?
They heckle. They get after you. It is so much fun. I sat there right next to them for a game, and I had an absolute blast.
It is the tarps off trend is what it's called, where
Love
you take your shirt off and wave it around. Marmol.
Like a helicopter?
Spin around your head like a helicopter. The fans sang soccer chants and shouted players' name. The stadium organist, Dwayne Hilton, played accompany music and got everyone involved. By the 11th inning, it had been in multiple sections because it went to extra innings.
Love it.
Marmol said, I'll go broke, but it'll be worth it.
There you go, Ollie. That's how to ingratiate yourself.
There you go. Yeah, bro, you'll be the manager of the Cardinals for the rest of your life if you keep doing this.
Mm-hmm.
Those fans will love you forever.
No, stuff like that's cool, man. I love seeing that. Just don't do the wave.
What? You're anti-wave?
I'm anti-wave.
I mean, I don't know many people that are like pro-wave, but I'm not anti-wave.
It's especially bad when like the cheerleaders are the ones trying to start it. It's like if one starts naturally, okay.
How do waves start?
Usually a couple of drunk guys, like 5 people.
Someone
they start
initiates it.
Yeah,
in
Just
one
yells
spot,
around,
and
hey,
then
we're
just
doing the wave
takes
in
off.
3, 2,
It's always in one section. Yeah. It's usually the 300s, and they got to
hey, lay off my 300.
They got to yell down, hey, and it's like, look, you start it naturally, okay, that's fine.
I like to live in a world where the 300 section at Moda Center in a playoffs game is, Apocalypse Now or Mad Max.
Oh no,
just straight Thunderdome up
late
there.
90s. It was. Look, I was a kid up there. I was up. It was 322. That's where we had our tickets before we moved into 226, and it was. I mean, those days. I mean, that place was ears like you came out of there with a headache. It was nasty up there. It was so loud. The black hole with the Raiders, like that's a thing that started. Like it will never go away. I love that. Like, I love when there's a uniqueness, there's fun, there's energy. Look, Ballmer is done it with the wall, with the Clippers.
Oh, yeah, the wall.
Love it. Even the artificial one, like, he's like, look, if you are loud here, like, there's general admission, the louder you are, the more access you'll have. I love that.
Coming up in the Big Nooner, let's take a peek at these conference finals matchups, and we'll start with the main entree, which is the Western Conference between San Antonio and Oklahoma City Thunder. One more hour to go. 105.1 The Fan.
Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
First on the Fan, the NBA Conference Finals getting underway tonight. Newly minted back-to-back MVP Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and the Thunder hosting Wemby and the Spurs in Game 1 of the West Finals. Tip-off just after 5:30 on NBC. Thunder are a 6.5-point favorite. The Eastern Conference Finals start tomorrow as the Cavaliers blew out the Pistons in Game 7 of the semis last night, 125-94. Donovan Mitchell, 26 points, 8 assists, 6 rebounds. Cleveland heads to New York to battle the Knicks. Other NBA news today, the Pelicans are reportedly hiring former Magic head coach Jamal Mosley on a 5-year contract. Mosley led Orlando to 3 straight playoff berths in his 5 years there. We got a hockey Game 7 tonight in the Stanley Cup playoffs. The Canadiens and the Sabres play for the right to face Carolina in the Eastern Conference Finals. That's a 4:30 start on ESPN. And your Portland Fire wrap up their first homestand of the season tonight, taking on the winless Connecticut Sun in the Moda Center. Tip-off just after 7. Coverage starts at 6:45 on 910 ESPN Portland. Fire are a 3.5-point favorite. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. I'm Brandon Henson from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt and missing work. Insurance companies acting like jerks. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
The home of the Fan Happy Hour with Luke.
Two down, one to go here. The firm of Harris and Marang. We do this bad boy every single Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Thank you for being a part of our day. We are stoked to be a part of yours. It's a heavy basketball day around these parts. That's okay. I've become invested. And my reward for becoming invested, Danny, you didn't ask, but I'm going to tell you, is against Spurs Thunder tonight, Game 1. And this, dare I say, maybe the most anticipated Western Conference Finals in a while.
Yeah, I mean, you have for I think everybody's money, the 2 best teams in the West.
Maybe the 2 best teams in the NBA.
I would agree. And you get to see if the Super Freak is going to Super Freak and stamp out OKC like they've done this year.
And you get to see a 2-time MVP try to go back-to-back. Mm-hmm. When was the last time we saw back-to-back champs?
It's been 7 years.
It's been 7 years. I like SGA a lot, and he's going to put himself in rarefied air if he's a back-to-back MVP in a back-to-back finals, especially if he gets a back-to-back finals MVP.
Especially going through these guys. Now, whoever they play in the East is, I think it's just shark feed. I mean, they're just chumming the water.
It's going to be rough.
I think OKC or San Antonio, I think there's a legit way that either of those teams sweep who comes out of the East. And I don't say that about the NBA Finals very often. Like, I don't think either of those teams match up with either of these teams in any capacity.
Oklahoma City wins this series. How? And don't say stop Wemby. I need more than that.
They have to have impact on him. Like, that's the thing.
You just
said
Wemby.
Yeah, no,
I told you not to.
They have to. I mean, but that's the
What's
reality.
with this guy?
They have to find number one. They have to rain threes. They have to make Wemby come out because if he's in the paint, you don't get points or points in the paint. You just don't. That's the reality. Like, I just saw Bomani Jones call Wemby. He said he might be the best defensive player in the history of the game.
And I think you're right. It'll be interesting to see how they attack Wemby. Will they try to get a little physical? What does Chet look like against Wembanyama? That's going to be the battle.
Yeah, well, people keep saying that, but they don't put Chet on him because Wemby is the better astronaut. I mean, this is not a shot at Chet. This is just it's not a matchup. Wemby has absolutely sunned him in those matchups. It has not been close.
I'm gonna lean Oklahoma City in this series, and my reasoning is the experience.
You got to learn.
As much as I have and it's not even a Wemby thing, and that's why I was kind of curious your thoughts on everyone outside of Victor Wembanyama. Is Steph Castle going to play the way he did against Minnesota in Game 6, or is he going to play the way he did against Minnesota in Game 5. You see what I mean?
Sure.
There's not a lot of consistency out of him yet. Now, when he's on, he's absolutely amazing. We've actually seen more consistency out of Dylan Harper than Steph Castle. Steph Castle is right now the better player, though. Where's De'Aaron Fox in this situation? I don't know if Julian Champagnie can go out there and play 30 minutes and have 8 points. Same with Vassell. I don't think they can run out there that long and not contribute offensively. And that's probably why I lean OKC. But if you're a San Antonio Spurs fan, like P1 Brandon out there, who always yells at me about his love for his Spurs fan, they're going to have to make shots because Oklahoma City is too deep and too talented with guys everywhere that can do many things. Oklahoma City's not super one-dimensional, and they don't need to rely on SGA. It's when he takes over is when they get scary.
It is, and they're getting J-Dub back, which is huge. And ESPN, I just showed this. I was going to bring this one up. It's perfect. The way the Thunder defense plays is that they allowed the most corner threes in the NBA this year. Now, those shots are not allowed. They're created. In order to get corner threes, you're not dribbling in the corner into open threes. That is that's just where their defense, they are very much about collapsing and taking away the paint. That is because they're very good at getting deflections. They're very good at getting steals. They're getting in passing lanes. When somebody drives, they dig down, and they're like, you know what, we're going to live with the corner three because most teams just don't have the capacity to beat them over 82 because their offense is so violent. They're really good at forcing turnovers, and they're really good at capitalizing on them. Spurs don't turn the ball over, and they create more corner threes than any team in the NBA. That's something to watch. If the Spurs hit threes, especially volume corner threes, OKC's going to have to change the defense. They're not going to be able to allow those guys to sit there and rain from those corners.
And that's where coaching comes in. I'll be very interested in Mitch Johnson because Mark D over there, he knows what he's doing.
He's done this.
He's got that thing rolling. They're all bought into him. He's bought into them. It seems like a really nice culture they got going on over there. And what will Mitch Johnson do? How will he react from a Spurs standpoint? Does Oklahoma City let Wemby do whatever he wants and try to shut down everyone else? How's he going to adjust to that? If Wemby is not shooting well, how does he adjust to that? And all those other aspects. And I'll be fascinated to see how that works. I hope it goes 7. I hope there's no blowouts.
For sure.
I want this to be highly competitive, and I think if there's two teams that can do it, it's these two.
Chet averaged under 11 a game on 39% shooting against the Spurs this season.
Say that again?
Chet averaged 10.5 points on 39% from the floor. He averaged 18 a game on 57% against everybody else.
He's got a Wemby problem.
Everyone has a Wemby problem. And I know you want to say,
but those two specifically, it's like in their brain, in their blood, they've created the rivalry between each other. Now, it's hard to be a rivalry when it's one-sided, but they both acknowledge that's the guy I go after. That's the guy I go after.
Well, it's because Chet kind of puffed his chest a little bit.
Totally.
And Wemby said, oh, yeah, monsieur? Like, you're not me.
Did you just drop a monsieur?
Yeah.
That was nice.
You're not me.
Great pull.
Look, and where the Thunder usually make their hay is in their guard depth. What do the Spurs have?
Right now they have guard depth.
De'Aaron Fox, Steph Castle, Dylan Harper.
That's a nice trio.
They can run it after you all the time.
And Champagnie can shoot.
The whole damn team can shoot. Like let's be real. Like Devin Vassell is a good defender. Keldon Johnson's a good defender. Like
Carter Bryant for a rookie is a good defender.
Do you want to talk about the advantages?
I wish I had Carter Bryant.
All the advantages that OKC has. The Spurs. This is what we talked about. Like going into the playoffs, matchups. The Spurs have absolutely boxed OKC's ears off. They matchup wise, it is a bit of a nightmare. All the things that the Thunder want to do, the Spurs do it, but they do it. It's like, oh, we have Chet. It's like, yeah, well, you've got a Hulk. We've got a Hulk Buster. Like that's the thing. It's like, well, we've got SGA. It's like, yeah, you win there, but we have Dylan Harper, we have De'Aaron Fox, we have Steph Castle, we have Keldon Johnson, we have Devin Vassell. For all of the Kaysen Wallaces and Alex Caruso's and Lou Dort's, like. We've got the better version. Yeah, you've got the MVP. Don't get it twisted.
You got Jared McCain at the deadline. Awesome move. I have Dylan Harper.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, we got that too. Now, don't get me wrong. The overall offensive guard play, you're going to give it to OKC. But in the front court, you're going to give it to the Spurs.
Without a doubt. And I think that's going to be the key. If I have to tell you a reason how San Antonio wins and it's not Wemby, it's guard play and making shots to where I think Oklahoma City has too many options that if one guy's not on, they can pick it up somewhere else.
They can.
And they've got an SGA who can score
Look, AJ
45 points.
Yeah, AJ Mitchell's been awesome for them. They haven't even like thrown Isaiah Joe out there. Like do not OKC's favored in this series for a reason. And I stand by this, and I know I'm going completely against it. You have to learn. If the Spurs win this series, it will be the anomaly. Flat out. You have to get to the NBA Finals, you have to take your lumps. You get your battle scars. If the Spurs do this, the reason that they do it is solely because of the 7'6" dude. Because they have a cheat code that nobody else has ever had.
And if they can get Steph Castle to be a top 20 player in the league.
That's
the consistency I'm looking for from him. He's shown it. He's shown too many times the flashes of him being awesome. I'm a little biased because I really like him as a player.
Look, he's Drew Holiday 2.0. He's a winner. This is a guy who won titles at UConn.
Steph Castle and Edwards are like two of my favorite players to watch in basketball. And you know I love Chet, but that's because he's a GU guy. He's going to have to be the true number 2. Almost like move aside De'Aaron Fox, give me the rock, like that. That's what he did in Game 6. He was like 11 of 16.
Yeah, no, he's phenomenal.
Something like he was fantastic in that game. He's got to be that, but he's got to be that at least 4, if not 5 games this series to win.
And look, if OKC comes out and they punch San Antonio in the face in Game 1 at home, it's not going to surprise me one bit.
Please don't. I'm trying to enjoy a basketball game tonight.
I think to be honest, I don't think you're going to get many blowouts in this because both teams are so good defensively.
And I think you're going to get a very interesting first half today. Kind of like you ever watch a World Cup final?
Oh yeah, you're
the
feeling
first
things
half
out.
is just nobody do anything crazy. Let's not make mistakes. We all play our own styles. Let's
OKC's
chill out.
Done this before.
Correct.
That's the difference.
And they might just put on the gas.
Let them know.
Try to catch them off guard. Hey, quit looking at the lights because it's time to play basketball.
But also, I look at that Spurs team. They haven't got lost in the lights yet.
They haven't.
And again, all the math, everything says that OKC is going to win this series. I'm taking the Spurs.
I know you are.
And it's not because I just took it in the beginning of the season or I took it in the beginning of the playoffs. I have watched this team over this playoffs learn. That supercomputer that I talk about. They learn from their mistakes. They don't continue to make the same. Like when you look at them in games that they've lost, are you sitting there going, that's a real problem for them? Or are you looking at it going, they just didn't shoot well tonight?
It's going to be really fascinating because I'm going on vacation this weekend. I'm gone Thursday and Friday, and I don't come home till I leave Wednesday right after our show. And it is going to be fascinating. Come back Tuesday and talk with you about where this series is. Because it'll be by 5 games.
Crazy that it goes quick, huh?
It's just so fascinating to me. It's such an interesting, dynamic, juicy. For all Patrick bitching about Cleveland and Detroit not having juice, I am being rewarded with juice.
This has all the juice.
All of the juice.
It's rare, and to be honest, it's rare that the matchup that everybody expects happens. Did anybody pick New York, Cleveland?
Nope. Remember me? I had Boston. I had Boston going to the NBA Finals and giving a scare to OKC.
Wrong.
I know. I should probably just
I'm not
take
saying
this
you.
microphone away.
No, I'm not saying you. You weren't alone in that.
I know.
But that's like for all of like the matchups that everybody expects to happen, it's very seldom that it happens.
I know. We thought Jokic was going to have to go through Wemby to get to a finals, and that never happened because they couldn't get past Minnesota.
Nope. That's what I love about NBA playoffs, man. For all of like the top seeds, like but not really.
Inject into my veins.
Love it.
Slide over to the Eastern Conference. That's been set. It is the Cleveland Cavaliers. They'll travel to New York City to the Garden to take on the Knicks. Cleveland got a shot at this, or are we just going to let them roll over? 105.1 The Fan. After us, we'll turn it over to Duck Insider from 1 to 2. Then you can catch the Fan Happy Hour with Luke Anderson from 2 to 3. And then it's prime time from 3 to 7. Isaac and Suk take you all the way home. Started with the boys, Dirt and Sprague this morning from 6 to 10 a.m. And that's 13 hours of live, local, continuous regional sports talk radio. And don't forget, guys, you can join us June 23rd as Toyota presents the Fan Golf Classic at Langdon Farms Golf Club. The afternoon round is sold out, and I believe we heard, something like 5 left in the morning?
I think it's less than that now.
So get on it. It's going to fill up quick. It's the most fun day in golf with activations and tastings around the course. The infamous Angels Envy Bourbon Par 3 6-hole where all of our hosts, Dirt, Sprague, Luke, Isaac, Suk, Danny, and myself, will all be posted up to heckle and admire your shots. Of course, we'll keep you fed with a post-round meal. Thanks to Matt's Barbecue. Head to 1051thefan.com and click on the Fan Golf Classic logo for information and to sign up today. The Fan Golf Classic, presented by Toyota, is also brought to you by Vulcan Design and Construction, Henderson and Daughter Windows and Doors, George McCoy at Warren Allen Attorneys at Law, Battery Exchange, Maestro Dobel Tequila, Your Neighborhood Restaurant Group, Philbrook Law, 1-800-DIVORCE, Roto-Rooter, Illegal Mezcal, and Window Nation.
Hosey decked him.
Getting there.
I'm getting there. In the Eastern Conference Finals, we get the Cleveland Cavaliers will take on the New York Knicks. The Knicks are the higher seed, so this will be a home series for the Knicks in the Garden. And we can make fun of Knicks coverage here in about 10 minutes or so, but let's keep this to basketball like adults, please. Is anybody giving Cleveland a shot in this?
I am.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It's hard for me to judge this series because I don't know what Jim Harden's going to be like. And I feel the Knicks have a little Cinderella-esque to me.
They do.
In the sense that when does the clock strike midnight and when do the threes stop raining from heaven?
Mm-hmm.
That's what scares me about the Knicks.
And OG's hamstring.
Sounds like he's going to be good to go.
No, he says it's not as bad as he had in the past, but
soft tissue.
And hamstrings take forever, man. Like, here's the thing.
Can I get an update on Scoot Henderson, by the way?
Right. I hope, please don't let anything happen to him. I don't want either of these series to be decided. I don't want anything ever to be decided by injury. But that's the reality that ends up happening in these situations.
Especially a guy like OG, who is not a big offensive power threat, but he is such an enjoyable watching basketball player and is a piece that really can elevate your squad. If you have the bones to go on a finals run and you insert an OG Anunoby, it's huge. Pascal did the same thing for Indiana last year. We've got some nice bones here in Howley and Miles Turner and some of the younger guys. Interject Pascal Siakam and boom, we're in the finals.
Look, you want your comparison, look no further than the Denver Broncos when Bo Nix's foot goes. It's like,
adios.
Well, there we go.
Everything toast.
Hey, Jert Stidham. Cool.
Woof.
I want to see teams at their full capacity be able to figure this out. Look, Donovan Mitchell is one of the best playoff performers in modern NBA history.
First conference finals, too, for him.
In the West, he just kept running into the buzzsaws.
Mm-hmm.
But, I should have pulled this up. Donovan Mitchell in the playoffs is absolutely bonkers. Let me see if I can grab that. There we go. His career in the regular season. Do you know what Donovan Mitchell averages? Career stats / line?
I'll have fun with this. Give me 28, 7, and 5.
His career. So this year he averaged 28, 6, and 5 on 48, 36, 87.
Not bad.
For his career, he averages 25, 5, and 4 on 45, 37, 84.
That's nice. He's nice.
Real good. You know what he is in the playoffs? He's 28, 5, and 5 on 44, 35, 83. 28, 5, and 5.
It's a nice player.
That's a damn good player.
And you don't think he's going to get up and get some juice in his world playing in Madison Square Garden?
Playing basically in his backyard?
Where he wants to be? Is this an audition for him?
I mean,
to come to the Knicks?
And look, Evan Mobley is incredibly talented.
Mm-hmm.
He's a defensive player of the year. If Wemby didn't exist, we would probably talk about Mobley a little bit different, but he doesn't play with force sometimes. This weekend, he did.
Does Mobley have the fun challenge of taking on Karl Anthony Towns?
Yes, because when if it's Mitchell Robinson or insert big here, Jared Allen can just battle with whoever. Jared Allen's a very, very solid big. To me, the key of this series is, can they mitigate if the Cavs are going to win? Can they mitigate the Jim Harden
issue,
crapping the bed situations? Can Evan Mobley play with force? Because I know what I have in Donovan Mitchell.
And can Donovan and that offense hunt Jalen Brunson?
We were talking about this beforehand. What they're going to do. I don't like Kenny Atkinson is a tactician, type coach.
I like Kenny. He's got a lot of red ass to him, too.
I love Kenny. If I'm him, the crux of my offense is Harden and Mitchell with Mobley in pick and roll, and I am hunting Jalen Brunson and Karl Anthony Towns.
Yep.
Hunting them. I am putting them in action after action after action after action and saying, deal with this. And I'm praying that Sam Merrill, that Dean Wade, that everybody else can, Max Strus, the white dudes.
Sam Merrill was really good last night.
Yeah, Sam Merrill, Dean
the
Wade.
White guys.
Yeah, Sam Merrill,
Hey,
Dean
white
Wade,
guys.
and Max Strus. Those guys can all rain threes.
Sure.
If those guys can, if you're going to sag in and help Brunson and Cat defensively, those guys can punish you.
I think another fascinating, God, I keep using that word today, another very interesting, polarizing thought in my brain that I can't decide which way I'm going to go on how it'll unfold, which is why we watch the games play. The amount of pressure on the Knicks to win this series is going to be really interesting to watch, how they respond to it. We'll talk about media coverage and Chalamet and all those guys here in a moment, but how the Knicks themselves, with their own pressure from their organization, they got their coach fired last year because they believe it's finals or bust. Everybody in the media is telling them it's finals or bust. Hell, some people in the media are trying to tell me that they think they're going to win it. We'll get to that in a moment. But more importantly, they believe this is the shot because of where they are cash strapped, where they are asset strapped. This is your team. I don't know how they're getting better. You can say you want Giannis all day long. How are you going to get Giannis to Milwaukee, to New York? You don't have the stuff. No. You don't. And you have to convince somebody to want Karl Anthony Towns. And why would I want Karl Anthony Towns when you don't want Karl Anthony Towns? Like, that makes that difficult. The pressure, the anticipation, the expectations on this team are huge.
Which is kind of crazy because I feel like the Knicks are being looked at as something more because of how they've handled things throughout the playoffs, but I would also argue their path was a little bit simpler. Do you know how many more games the Knicks won this season than the Cavs?
How many?
1.
Yes. Last minute seedings.
Yet the Knicks are so much better. And it's this, that, and the other. And it's like, well, if the Cavs don't do this, everybody's gone. It's like, that's really interesting because one team won 52 games, the other one won 53 games.
Oh, man, if the Knicks don't go to the finals, there's going to be some serious issues in New York. Cleveland got to the Eastern Conference Finals. I know they think they should be in the NBA Finals. And I thought at the beginning of the year, them and the Magic were going to have the Magic and Detroit were my teams to pop at the beginning of the season. And they the Darius Garland thing is weird. His foot situation was strange. They end up going to get Jim Harden. They're where they need to be right now. And they don't have to worry about blowing it up right now. If the Knicks don't win this, a lot of questions are going to get asked.
And that's what's funny about this is I feel like that microscope is more on the Cavs coming into this series. Yet whoever loses this, it's going to be like a referendum on who they are right now and what they're doing going forward.
Blow it up, get rid of him. This guy sucks.
And it's like, but coming into
Donovan
the series,
Mitchell's terrible, but not as terrible as Jalen Brunson if the Knicks lose. Yeah.
And coming into this series, that microscope is more on Cleveland. But you look at it, and whoever loses it, that microscope is going to be on. Because I think they're both kind of in the same situation, contractually, talent-wise, where the expectations, everything that kind of comes with that. It's just really, really interesting.
How nauseating is this going to be from a media perspective and a fan perspective for the New York Knicks? We'll go there next. There's Brandon with sports.
Now, from the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
This update brought to you by Mountaintop Metal Roofing. No maintenance, energy efficient, fire resistant, and a lifetime warranty. Do it once, do it right. Visit mountaintopmetalroofing.com. NBA.com. First on the Fan, the NBA Conference Finals get underway tonight. Newly minted back-to-back MVP Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and the Thunder hosting Wemby and the Spurs in Game 1 of the West Finals. Tip-off just after 5:30 on NBC. Thunder are a 6.5-point favorite. The Eastern Conference Finals start tomorrow as the Cavaliers blew out the Pistons in Game 7 of the semis last night, 125-94. Donovan Mitchell, 26 points, 8 assists, 6 rebounds. Cleveland heads to New York to battle the Knicks. Other NBA news today, the Pelicans are reportedly hiring former Magic head coach Jamal Mosley on a 5-year contract. Mosley led Orlando to 3 straight playoff berths in his 5 years there. We got a hockey Game 7 tonight in the Stanley Cup playoffs. The Canadiens and the Sabres play for the right to face Carolina in the Eastern Conference Finals. 4:30 start on ESPN. And your Portland Fire wrap up their first homestand of the season tonight, taking on the winless Connecticut Sun in the Moda Center. Tip-off just after 7. Coverage starts at 6:45 on 910 ESPN Portland. Fire are a 3.5-point favorite. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. I'm Brandon Henson from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt and missing work. Insurance companies acting like jerks. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
Your home for the Oregon Ducks.
Closing arguments coming up next to send you on your way for the day. This texter, can either team in the East beat either team in the West, or is San Antonio OKC basically the finals? We'll get into that in closing arguments. I like that question a lot. I got strong feelings about that from my heart, deep, deep down inside. But I asked the question, Danny, a minute ago, and I think we all know the answer to this, but let's just sit in it for a moment. How awful is the four-letter brand going to be when the Knicks make the finals?
It's not just them. It's Knicks fans. I'm already seeing. I got a lot of Knicks media members that are friends of mine, and they're already being obnoxious about it. Don't count us out. We're the underdog. It's actually bad. People out there, they're talking about the Knicks having too long of a layoff. It's actually bad for them. It's like they're starting the whole machine already.
I love the higher seed. The higher seed claiming they're the underdog with home court advantage.
I saw Spurs fans doing this the other day. They were talking about how they've just, they didn't tank to get where they were. The OKC's this bad. I'm like, you had 3 straight freaking lottery picks. What do you mean?
Yeah.
Top 3 picks. You had a 1, a 2, and a 3. Shut up.
It helped. Take
real your
nice.
luck and be good with it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh God, it's so dumb.
OKC's the same way.
Yes, that's what I mean.
J-Dub, SGA, and Chet. Yeah.
Yes. Like, well, they traded for SGA. It's like,
well, they traded Paul George.
Yeah.
You got to get something for Paul George.
It's like, and you got 5 ones for it. Just stop. You're not. Stop. Stop it. Stop it.
I was driving around this weekend, and I heard a promo on our station that ESPN had made. It wasn't something that one of our people made. And it was Kendrick Perkins, Stephen A. Smith, Bobby Marks, you name it, the whole shebang. Shams, everybody, just the Knicks. They're going to win it all. Do I think the Knicks can beat Oklahoma City Thunder? Of course I do. And it's like, oh God, here we go.
No,
and that's why I think it's interesting coming from those players too. Cat kind of walks around with that sort of bravos energy of, yeah, we going to win this thing. Brunson, the Nova kids are kind of quiet.
Well, they've been there before.
And they've been humbled a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And
remember, Detroit pushed them last year.
Big time. And they didn't go to the finals last year. So the noise is going to be very, very loud. And looking over there at the crowd and seeing Timothy Shamalama Ding Dong sitting there and Ben Stiller and all the New York heads.
A Kardashian.
Well, I mean, Chalamet's got a Jenner, so not far off. And how that crowd reacts to them is going to be really interesting because they're going to expect an NBA Finals berth. And if they don't get it, they're going to want a pound of flesh for it. And I don't know who they take it out on.
Well, I mean, Kendrick Perkins said there's only 4 players in the NBA that he'd take over Jalen Brunson to start a team with. So we already know where this is going.
Really? Only 4? Okay, so he's going to take Wemby.
I don't think.
Stop. No.
I have to remember.
No way.
No, he didn't have Luka. That's who it was. He didn't have Luka.
So he had like Wemby, SGA, Jokic. No Luka, huh?
Oh, God, who was the
Denny Avdia.
No, I think it was Cade.
Cade Cunningham?
I think it was Cade.
And then Jalen Brunson.
Look, Jalen Brunson's a really good offensive player.
Sure, not my cup of tea, but he's a good player.
He is going to get hunted mercilessly.
Yeah.
Mercilessly.
He is a defensive
CJ
liability.
McCollum, who's a good offensive player, killed him. What do you think Donovan Mitchell's going to do to him?
It's not going to be pretty.
No.
Knicks fans will want their pound of flesh. I think they will ask for it from probably Bridges or Cat.
I mean, look, Cat's playoff resume is still like, you know who loves Jim Harden? Karl Anthony Towns.
Thanks for bailing me out.
Thank you for being the worst all-star performer we've ever seen in the playoffs, because Cat's playoff history is littered with just ghosting games. And it's like, bro, you can't be making $50+ million and do that. He's got to be good, and he has been good for them. He's had some games for them like where he has been phenomenal. He's got to continue doing that. And on the flip side of that, Evan Mobley has got to be great for the Cavs. That to me, that's the matchup of this series. Which one of the guys that can disappear doesn't disappear?
Celebrity Row. Would you like to hear the most common name seen on Celebrity Row at the Garden? Spike, of course.
Well, yeah.
The staple. Timothy Chalamet and
Chalamet
Kylie
Ding Dong.
Jenner, Ben Stiller, Tracy Morgan, Fat Joe, more like Medium Joe, Tina Fey, Jon Stewart, and Chris Rock.
Pretty good list.
It's not bad.
Pretty good list.
Not bad.
It's better than Ty Burrell.
It is better than Ty Burrell. Who's our most famous person that...
Ty Burrell.
Is it really?
Yes.
That doesn't make me feel great.
Yeah. Again, shouts to Ian Carmel.
Also, Carmelo Anthony and Patrick Ewing like to go to games.
Yeah, you know who you don't see there is Charles Oakley.
Dude, are we still doing this with Charles Oakley?
Well, they have a dumb owner. So
James Dolan. Is anybody actually rooting for the Knicks to win?
outside of New York?
No. Yeah, not at all.
No. And then nobody cares about Cleveland.
No. Is it like
I think the team that if you're asking me who, like, which of the four remaining teams has the public vote, I think it's the Spurs.
You think so?
I think it's the Spurs.
Because they want to see Wembanyama?
Not just that, I just think they're more likable. I don't think OKC's likable.
I know. You say this a lot.
I know you do
Or
because Chet.
I just hear it in my head a lot.
But Brandon, I'll ask you, do you think the Thunder are a likable team?
Ooh.
See, that's your answer right there.
That's his answer.
I think most people will say no.
Yeah. I don't think they're likable.
I don't think they're, and I've heard you guys talk about this before. I don't think they're personable enough for people to actually like them.
Yeah.
They like their game.
No,
but
no,
they don't like them individually.
Like if you're a casual NBA fan, you're tuning in for the conference finals and the NBA finals. Of the four teams left, who do you think people are rooting for?
Wemby.
I think so too. I think you're right. What's also interesting is if you take those five guys, okay, the Villanova 3, OG, and Karl Anthony Towns, take them off the Knicks and put them on the Magic, the Cavs, the Pistons, whoever, and they're this good in the finals, extremely likable.
They were
extremely likable.
They were all on different teams.
Yep. Three guys.
Josh Hart is beloved around the league. Jalen Brunson was a dude for the Dallas Mavericks.
Three guys went to college together and won natties together. How cool is that? A great defensive all-around player in OG Anunoby and the big 7-footer who shoots threes from Kentucky. That's who is brash and smiles. That's a very likable team, but they're the Knicks, so we all hate them.
Mikal Bridges was beloved in Phoenix.
we all hate those guys because they're Knicks. Jalen Brunson in Dallas didn't exist to me. He didn't exist. I didn't care.
He was a fun little story.
I was like, cool, good for you, bud. I liked you at Nova. Now it's like, get off my television. I hate all of you.
And the thing is, well, you hate the Knicks because of the Pacers. You have the additional.
Dude, the night New York never slept.
See, I love Mikal. I love OG. I love Josh.
Yeah. Oh, they're all great players.
But
I'm not a cat guy.
But I mean, like, just like those three, as dudes, I like them. Like, at one point in time, one of them was a Trailblazer, loved Josh, great locker room guy. I've wanted Mikal here forever.
So does Damian Lillard.
Yeah, I wanted the Trailblazers to draft OG Anunoby. I want them to trade for OG Anunoby. Like, but you could not find probably two guys outside of Brunson and Cat. Like if you said two guys on any team that I want less than Jalen Brunson or Karl Anthony Towns. I'm just like, nope. Not saying they're not great players. I just want nothing to do with them.
If I swear to sweet baby Jesus, if I wake up in the morning and I hear the Blazers have sent 3 first-round draft picks, Shaedon Sharpe and Jeremy Grant to Milwaukee, who have sent Giannis to the Knicks, and I get Karl Anthony Towns, I will sew my head to the carpet.
Oh, dude, I will stitch it there for you.
I will absolutely sew my head to the carpet.
I don't think that in a million years that would happen, but
because he's going to be the fall guy.
Oh yeah.
If they don't win, he's going to be the fall guy. And they're going to try to trade him to get Giannis, and I'm going to die.
Yeah, I want no part of that.
Closing arguments coming up next. 105.1 The Fan. All right, that's going to do it for us. Closing arguments brought to you by Leskin Law. Visit leskinlaw.com for more information. Coming up on the program tomorrow, let's see what we got brewing over here. It's a free consultation Tuesday, so we'll get into that action in the big nooner. We're all going to learn what loose bodies are, because that's the new trendy injury in Major League Baseball.
Who doesn't love a loose body?
Loose bodies in your elbow, which we'll have fun with that. And we'll have reactions from Game 1 of the Western Conference Finals
Which
tonight.
sign me up for. I will be there.
One thing we forgot to mention when we were talking about SGA winning the MVP is the Prime Video crew roasting Shams Charania. Shams is probably one of my biggest issues with the NBA. Everybody's got their Shams, okay? We got Jeff Passan in baseball. We got
But there's ways to do
Adam
it.
Schefter in the NFL, and I'm sure there's a hockey guy out there that I'm not familiar
Does
with.
anybody dislike Jeff Passan?
Nope.
Nobody hated Woj.
Nobody hated Woj. Shams has just... It's very obvious what Shams is doing.
Yes.
And I think that's what's gross about it. And he's not very good on TV.
No.
Just being honest.
Well, he's not
polished.
Well, he's not a journalist. Like, people, if you're younger, you don't remember what a Woj bomb actually was. Woj bombs weren't tweets. They were Yahoo Sports articles where he was nuking somebody.
Yeah.
That was a Woj bomb. That's what people don't understand.
And so the MVP was going to be announced on Prime in the pregame for yesterday's game, for Game 7 of Pistons-Cavs. But earlier that morning, Shams leaked it out. And why did Shams leak it out? Because his network doesn't have the announcement. If ESPN had it, he wouldn't have said anything.
No, because when they had the NBA draft, he wasn't doing it. That's what Woj did before he came to ESPN. Remember? Teams were lasered in on a player. They were focused on a player. They were highlighting a player. He was having fun with it. He was like, "Oh, you want to see how much power I have? Watch this."
This is the Prime Video crew on Shams, and pay attention at the end to what Blake Griffin has to say.
All right, now, just to be clear, the official announcement is happening here. Dirk and Steve, you all both won MVPs, but I don't remember Shams spoiling it way back then.
I don't think he was around then. He was a baby then.
Yeah, what are we doing, man? Like, it's Sunday, Shams. Go to brunch, you nerd. Come on.
From the top rope, dude.
I love Blake. Blake being as personable and funny as he is, so great. Yeah. Blake, have you seen him do like stand-up? He's genuinely funny.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's genuinely funny.
He's got some commercials that are okay, but they're kind of cringy, but they work.
He leans into it.
Yeah.
Like Blake is hilarious, man. And that crew. Also, Taylor's been around for a while.
Yeah, she has. She knows what's up.
Yeah.
She used to work over there.
Yeah.
And Dirk's just like, who is Shams? He's like, who's that?
He was a little young. And here's another thing. Remember, Woj is the one who put Shams on.
Oh, they very much chose who they wanted to replace Woj.
Well, no, I mean, Woj stepped away.
Well, I know, but they knew it was going to be Shams to take over for him.
You gotta have that's part of the equity in that whole universe. But yeah, I mean, I get it from Shams' point of view. I do. But also, it's like, what are you doing, dude? He was on McAfee this morning. He kind of pushed back against it. He's like, it's my job. And it's like, yeah, it is. And when you got a story and you got it confirmed and you've got it vetted, you run it. I get it. But it's like, be careful what you wish for.
Is the Western Conference Finals the NBA Finals?
Yes. It is the most anticipated conference finals in the last decade.
Probably. I'm trying to think of one that would be more.
As far as like the point differential, like leading into a matchup, it is the largest. It's a point differential of 125 or more for both teams. The last time it happened was 2017 Warriors-Cavs.
How does Evan Mobley match up against Victor Wembanyama?
He doesn't.
I know nobody doesn't.
No, that's like, I know people are going to get tired of that. Get used to it. Like, it's LeBron James when he was young. It's like, how do you stop? You don't.
You don't.
You
hope everybody around him sucks.
You mitigate what you can. It's not that you just bend the knee. You do what you can. You dig down. Kenny Atkinson just had an awesome quote about Asar Thompson. leading into the conference finals. They asked him about the adjustment, and Kenny said, we moved the ball away from him because he's that good of a defender. They were just like, nah, dude, we just decided avoid Asar Thompson like the plague.
I like him a lot.
But like that's what, when you get into the conference finals and the finals, man, it is matchups. And when you've got just a trump card that you can play, when you've got a matchup breaker, that's what he is. Like Giannis, everybody's like, oh, he has no bag. And he had a 50-point closeout game in the NBA Finals. Bagless or not, stop him.
I like this text. Shams is probably terrible at Christmas. Breaking news, Mom. You got a Nintendo Switch.
Yeah.
She's like, I haven't even opened this yet.
He loves to do it.
It'd be terrible.
But like when you get to this point, when you get to these matchups and all those kind of things, that's what it comes down to. And you know what Shams can't do? Talk basketball.
He can't really talk, man.
He's gotten better. Actually, there was one podcast he did last year, and I remember talking to other media members about it, and it was like, that is the most normal and nuanced and balanced we've ever heard Shams be on anything. And it was just that one time. And it was just like, oh, he was actually giving takes. And they were good. It was like, so you can do that part of it.
And then I watched the NBA draft lottery, and he's like, you know, what I'm hearing around the league is that GMs really like Darren Peterson and A.J. DeBonsa, so it'll be interesting to see which way the Washington Wizards go. You know, they could go either route. Darren Peterson, the proven point guard at 6'6", or A.J. DeBonsa, the scorer. Which route they want to go. Excellent insight, buddy. Thanks, man. Thank you for coming. I really appreciate that. I have learned so much now because you told me that Darren Peterson and A.J. DeBonsa are good basketball players.
There you go.
Congratulations. Shout out Shams Charania.
Hey, look at that. SGA gave his teammates Spotify premium memberships, along with the Burberry Levi's Canadian tuxedo sets.
What's a Spotify premium membership?
Like
what I have?
He's probably endorsed. And so he said, here's a free membership. Hey, LeBron doesn't pay for Spotify premium, so there you go.
Good God. Closing Arguments brought to you by Leskin Law. Visit leskinlaw.com for more information. Leskin Law's one-day divorce mediation. Peace treaties, not war plans. That'll do it for us. For Danny Marang, that's Brandon Hinson. I'm Patrick Harris. Go do something I would do.
Bye.
I love days like these at the pool, but my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis can sometimes take me out of the moment. I'm ready to make a splash with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi, risankizumab Riza. Skyrizi is a prescription-only injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. At 4 months, most people saw 90% clearer skin when measured from head to toe, and many were even 100% plaque-free. People also saw significant improvement in psoriasis symptoms of pain, redness, itching, and burning.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
Now there's nothing on my skin, thanks to Skyrizi, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis. Visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKY-RIZZI to learn more.
Listen to that. That's the sound of a Portland winter. Not getting inside my house.
Most people think metal roofing sounds like a barn in a hailstorm. I'm Glenn, owner of Mountaintop Metal Roofing.
Glenn, my roof is actually quieter than my old asphalt one.
Dusty, that's because we install over solid decking. It acts like a sound barrier. You get the strength of metal, but it's still quiet.
Stop listening to the drip, drip, drip of a failing roof.
Do it once, do it right, and tell us Dusty sent you for $3,250 off.
MountaintopMetalRoofing.com /